York Revolution is on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Here he swings and hammers it. Watch this one go. It's a game winner.
Revs Baseball on WOYK is brought to you by WellSpan Sports Medicine, Maple Donuts, Broadway Transmission, Flying V, Dasher Investment Services, the law offices of Griffith, Strickland, Lerman, Solomon and Collins, York Mitsubishi, Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, Smith, Mayer and Little, Soul Burrito, Joel's Painting, Commonwealth Connections Academy, and by CJ's Tire and Automotive Services.
Swing and a deep drive to right field. Watch this one go. He fires. Game over. Base hit. It's a fair ball. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Rami Lewis. He slides. He's in. Revs won it.
Now, with the call of today's game, here's the voice of the York Revolution, Darrell Henry.
Good afternoon, everyone, from Santander Stadium here in downtown York. Welcome to game number 126 of York Revolution Baseball. Today, it is the next to last game of the homestand, the next to last Sunday afternoon home game of the season, as the Revs go for their third straight against the Bridgeport Bluefish. And hi again, everybody. Darrell Henry with you. Welcome to a sun-splashed Sunday afternoon here in downtown York. The Revs with two very different victories to begin this series against the Bluefish. The 10-6 slugfest on Friday night, completed with the walk-off grand slam. And last night, a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel where the Revs combined on a two-hitter and did indeed take advantage of another late-inning home run for the eventual winning run, a 2-1 victory. Eric Patterson, an eighth-inning tie-breaking home run last night to give the Revs the lead and the eventual win. Stephen Penny would close it out. Bo Vaughn got the win with a scoreless 8. And Matt Neal was tremendous. 7 innings, 2 hits, giving up just 1 run. The Revs combining on the two-hitter, and we've talked a lot about the offense here lately and how prolific they have been here in the second half. But on the pitching side of things, last night marked the third two-hitter that the Revs have tossed this season. And before this year, they had only had a combined 5 in Revs history in 9-inning games anyway, and none since the 2013 season. So another fine performance last night. It ended up being a milestone win, the 600th in Revs history, and continuing to do their part to try to stay in the race in the second half. Unfortunately, though, last night Camden did not do their part in attempting to help the Revs as they coughed up a late lead in the 8th inning. Back-to-back home runs given up in Lancaster. The Barnstormers winning last night, and they have won today, 7-2 on our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. So the Revs at the moment 5 games back in the division. A win today, it'll still be 4.5. Otherwise, that would be 5.5 heading into Labor Day tomorrow. But they can only take care of what they can take care of, and this afternoon will be Rami Lewis making the start for the Revs. 9-10, an ERA of 3.99. Right-hander David Anderson will go for the Bluefish. He's 2-0 with an ERA of 2.38. Revs look to sew up a series win today. 30-24 is their second half record. And coming up on our pregame, we'll have the audio highlights from last night's 600th victory. And we'll check in with Mace coming up shortly here as well. First pitch is set for 5 o'clock here on a sun-splashed late Sunday afternoon here at Santander Stadium on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Want to learn to skate? Want to suit up and learn how to play some hockey? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Learn to skate programs are now available for all ages. For every skating ability, kids of all ages will learn how to feel comfortable on ice, how to stand, and perhaps most importantly, how to fall properly. Class levels range from beginner to freestyle, where you'll learn basic jumps, spins, and footwork. Classes are taught by York Ice Arena skating instructors from White Rose Figure Skating Club. No skates? No problem. Skate rental is included in your registration. Or or get on the ice for our York Ice Arena hockey programs. York Ice Arena coaches will focus on teaching proper techniques needed for anyone interested in playing hockey. Rental equipment is available for beginning players, both boys and girls. So get on the ice, learn to skate, learn to play. Sign up now. Group skating lessons and beginners hockey programs are forming now. Plus, York City residents get a 50% discount. Register today. Go to yorkskate.com and click on program info. York Ice Arena, the coolest place in town.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. Our winning team offers everything from concussion management and sports nutrition to physical therapy and more. For more information, call 877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at all your favorite neighborhood family markets. Use your Gold Card every time you shop, and you'll automatically receive your savings and rewards. And you'll get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Nell's, Saubles, Wetzel's, Chris's New Oxford, and Stauffer's Downingtown markets. So get into the game with some great savings at all your favorite neighborhood family markets. Always a hit and always a great catch. Revolution!
Sure, you're counting down to kickoff, but there's plenty of baseball left this summer. The York Revolution have 14 home games in September, and it's easy for you to be there with the September 6-pack. 6 tickets for any remaining game at Santander Stadium this season, 2 parking passes, and a free $10 food card for ballpark treats. A savings of 25% over box office prices, plus $10 in free food, so head to YorkRevolution.com to purchase your September 6-pack. As Yogi Berra would say, baseball season ain't over till it's over.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Back here in today's pregame, Revs look to make it 3 straight against the Bluefish, and coming off another banner night at the stadium last night. Crisply played game and nice crowd. We had post-game fireworks. Everything was perfect last night, and the Revs pulling off another late-game victory. And a few of the highlights from last night, we start early in the game. Bridgeport had scored a second-inning run. The Revs would answer in their half of the inning with Telvin Nash at the plate. Here's a swing and a well-hit ball, left center. Chapman chasing it deep onto the track. He leaps, it's gone! Telvin smash indeed. His 6th officially. It will be his 7th, and he ties it up. 1-1 here in the bottom of the second. Another long ball for the Revs. Well, from that point forward, the story would be pitching. Corey Reardon was terrific for Bridgeport. Matt Neal for the Revs. Neal would retire 14 of the last 15 that he faced, and 7 innings of 2-hit ball, giving up just 1 run. Reardon, who had dealt with a major threat from the Revs in the 7th. They had a leadoff double from Boggs, a single from Pounds. They had first and third, no outs. But Reardon would record a pair of strikeouts and a ground out, coming back from that to keep it tied, leaving them at first and third in the 7th inning. He would finish the night with 11 strikeouts total, tying a season high, but in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Revs needed just 1 more run, and in dramatic fashion again, Eric Patterson would get it done. Do so heading into the night. Here's a line drive toward the corner and right. Gone! It carries out of here! Eric Patterson, a line drive home run! Onto the porch in right! Right down the line, and had just enough height. And more late inning magic for the Revs here at Santander Stadium. 2-1, they take the lead. Patterson's 10th of the year, and it breaks the tie 2-1 here in the 8th. So then the bullpen finishing what Matt Neal had started. Bo Vaughn would end up with the win, a scoreless 8th inning. Stephen Penny was on in the 9th, had the tying run on at first after the lone error committed by the Revs last night. Mostly a very clean game. He would end up picking up the final 3 outs, including a strikeout to end it. Another 2-2. Strike 3 called. He got him looking. Game over. Win number 600 in York Revolution history. And another one in their final at-bat offensively. Stephen Penny with the save, his 4th of the year. And the Revs win it 2-1. More late inning magic here tonight, and they take the first 2 of this series, their 600th win all time as a franchise. Indeed, and looking to win the first 3 of this series with a victory today. Once again, Rami Lewis facing David Anderson. Our matchup on the mound, Rami down in the bullpen getting ready as we speak. By the way, Matt Neal doing what he did last night on his 29th birthday. It would be a no decision, but he was outstanding. And we'll talk with Mace about that effort and a couple of maybe the unknown nuances of that start that he made last night. Interesting chat with Mace coming up. Stay tuned. The Broadway Transmission Managers Report is next as we get closer to first pitch today, 5 o'clock here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We're everywhere. Listen on the go with the WOYK mobile apps. Download today at WOYK1350.com.
Nobody can turn your backyard into a backyard paradise better than Paradise Landscaping and Hardscaping. The outdoor pros at Paradise offer full outdoor maintenance, landscaping, hardscape design and installation. And when it comes to fall planting, mulching, and cleaning up fallen leaves, you're in luck, Revs fans. Call before September 1st to schedule your fall cleanup and clean up with 10% off. Estimates are free, fully insured. Call 577-6234 or check them out on Facebook. Paradise Landscaping and Hardscaping in York.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
It's going to be another epic year in high school football, and Sports Radio 1350 is ready for kickoff. Tune in every Friday night this fall for the high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to WOYK1350.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the 2015 York Adams League. The high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch the action every Friday night on Sports Radio 1350, online at WOYK1350.com, or download the WOYK mobile app.
Hey, sports fans, great news. Now you can listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stranded in Siberia? No problem. Kidnapped by wolves? It's not as bad as you may think. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse. For the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup, it's the Broadway Transmission Managers Report. Now, here's Atlantic League Manager of the Year, Mark Nason.
Well, Mace, this game of baseball, you can have a 10-6 game one night, 2-1 the next night, and your team wins both to start this series. Another nice win for you guys last evening.
Yeah, it was an interesting game compared to the night before. I think they had 2 hits, we had 6 hits. We scored 2 runs on homers, and both teams had really good starting pitching, and that was really about all there was to it. So it was kind of short and sweet, 2 hours and 7, 8, 9 minutes, whatever it was, and everybody was in the shower before 9 o'clock, which normally doesn't happen around here.
Well, both starters pitched a heck of a game. Reardon had 11 strikeouts, and you guys had a real threat in the 7th inning that he was able to squelch. But then in the 8th, Patterson puts the one big swing on it. What was your vantage point of that on a home run that got out really in a hurry?
Well, that was an interesting at bat because I think Eric's first or second swing, he was kind of rolling his wrist around. Like maybe sometimes if you swing the bat a certain way, you can feel something in your wrist, and he was kind of rolling it around, and I don't know, maybe he was playing possum or something because two pitches later he hit it out. So, I mean, it was a good at bat. I mean, Eric's been swinging a bat better definitely lately, and he's having better at bats, hitting the ball hard. That's been going on for a couple weeks now. So. Putting him up at the top, I think just shows how versatile he is, that he can hit in the 3-hole, he can hit at the top, and once Constanza left, I was trying to figure out what we were going to do there. Mikey had been up there for a while, but, I think for right now, Eric is the guy we're going to use there.
Well, with the game tied, you had Penny getting ready to come in, and then obviously when you take the lead, he's a guy that you can stay with and use him with the lead in the 9th inning. What do you think of the way he went out there and nailed it down once he had the save opportunity in front of him?
No, Steven, he can do a great job, and we know he can close. We've used him there before. We had him up. The game was tied at the time. So he was hot, and I wasn't going to sit him down, and DeMarc had already thrown a couple days in a row. So, Steven was our most rested guy for the back end, and so we were going to put him in there, and he did a great job.
Matt Neal, maybe his finest start of the year, and we were trying to figure out what he was hunched over behind the mound for in the 6th inning. Come to find out, maybe his stomach contents were a little bit lighter, and despite that, he goes out and gives up just 2 hits.
Yeah, when we went out there, he said he had been feeling a little bit under the weather during the day, so so he has a very small issue behind the mound there for a second. But it sounds crazy, but sometimes when you're a little under the weather, I mean, not that kind of sick where it's like a virus or something, but sometimes if you feel a little tired, a little fatigued, or not quite yourself, sometimes you actually pitch better. It doesn't work that well for position players, but for pitchers, it just seems to relax you because you're really not feeling that great. And, and sometimes that's what happens. It makes all the off-speed better. It slows you down mechanically. And, so I'm not saying that was the reason why he threw the ball well, because we've seen glimpses of him throwing the ball well, during the second half. But, last night he was really on point, and I thought that was probably his best start that I've seen since Somerset last year when he went the whole 9 innings. So, Matt did a great job for us, and he came up in a big spot there. We only used 2 bullpen guys, Bo and Penny, and, so that helps rest us for the next couple days moving forward.
There were, I guess, at least a couple of innings where he went to only the stretch. Was that just a comfort thing for him mechanically or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if you feel like you're rushing from the windup, you go back to the stretch because you have to stop, and it allows you to gather. Obviously, it makes you, a little slower to the plate sometimes, and it's a little more strenuous on your body when you have to stop and then start, where from the windup you can stay fluid and keep moving. But sometimes if you have a tendency, you're not staying back and your arm can't catch up to the front side of your body going to the plate. A lot of guys will do that, and it helps get their rhythm back.
Well, lastly today, you'll face a very young pitcher in David Anderson, who we saw in Bridgeport. I remember you kind of felt like your guys were a little anxious and maybe jumped out at some of his stuff. Is that one of the big adjustments that you hope they make today?
Well, we're going to be patient. I know he was a little bit wild. That was his first start coming from a new league, so I'm sure he was a little pumped up and maybe a little anxious as well out there trying to throw the ball and rushing. So we've seen him before. I think we have to be more patient. I think we have to allow him to throw the fastball for strikes, lay off the stuff in the dirt, which was a lot of breaking balls, if I remember right, when we were there. We chase a lot of pitches out of the zone, I thought. So we need to be more disciplined today and make him throw strikes. And if he does that, then we'll see how good his stuff is and how well we adjust.
All right, Mace, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that's Revs manager Mark Mason on the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. Beautiful Sunday afternoon as Rami Lewis and Salvador Paniagua make their way from the bullpen into the Revs dugout. Be set to go here shortly. Good crowd on hand today as well. And our starting lineups brought to you by Flying Feet. For Bridgeport, it'll be Brian Sabatella in left field leading off. Josh Prince, the second baseman, hits second. Wellington Dotel in right field is batting third. The cleanup man is the DH, C.J. Rutherford. Then Andres Rodriguez at first base will hit fifth. Wilson Batista, the third baseman, bats sixth. The Bluefish today adding 3 new players, 2 to their bullpen, and the position player added is former Rev Juan Martinez, who we've seen in this league with Bridgeport and Camden as well. And he had been in the American Association earlier this year, but he is back with the Bluefish, added today. He'll be at shortstop hitting 7th. Luis Rodriguez will do the catching and hit 8th, and Ethan Chapman is in center field batting 9th. Again, it's Sabatella, Prince, Dotel, Rutherford, Rodriguez, Batista, Martinez, Rodriguez, and Chapman for the Bluefish. For the York Revolution here this afternoon, Eric Patterson will lead it off once again at second base. Wilson Valdez, the shortstop, is hitting second. Andres Perez will DH and bat third. Cleaning up in right field is Brandon Boggs. Brian Pounds at third base hits fifth. Telvin Nash, the first baseman, is batting sixth. Salvador Paniagua does the catching and hits 7th. Nick Ferdinand in left field will bat 8th. And James Simmons gets the start today in center field hitting 9th. Again, it's Patterson, Valdez, Perez, Boggs, Pounds, Nash, Paniagua, Ferdinand, and Simmons for the Revs. Those lineups once again brought to you by Flying Feet. Umpires for today's game, Fred DeJesus will have the balls and strikes. Warren Nicholson at first base, and John Harrington is the umpire at third. Revs getting set to take the field here. Quick look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. We mentioned Lancaster already won earlier, 7-2, so they have taken the first 3 meetings of that series against Camden, who's rolled over there at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Lancaster scored 3 in the first inning today and never looked back. The other game that's already complete, Long Island has beaten Southern Maryland at Bethpage Ballpark 16-14 today. Did they put up goalposts for that game? The Blue Crabs had a 6-1 lead in the 4th inning. Long Island scored 9. Both teams scored 4 in the 5th. They weren't done scoring the rest of the day either, but Long Island would do them 2 better with a 16-14 win. They out-hit Southern Maryland at 19-17. So those are the 2 finals thus far today. Revs have taken the field for this afternoon's game. Rami grabs the game ball, and we'll have first pitch for game number 126 of the season. The Revs hosting the Bluefish. We'll have it for you coming up next.
You're running cross country. No one understands how they keep score. Your friends and family don't understand why you do it, but you understand how it makes you feel. So does Flying Feet.
Flying Feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes has been supplying running shoes and apparel to Central PA's best since 1975. Their staff is made up of runners and coaches who understand your pleasures and your pains. If it's running or cross-country related, Flying Feet knows about it. And with the area's best selection of running shoes, running spikes, and running apparel, there's no good reason to shop anywhere else. Worried about prices? Didn't you hear? Flying Feet is a specialty athletic store without specialty store prices. Come see their selection of the best running shoes and spikes for men, women, and children. No matter what your size, your width, or your ability level, Flying Feet has a full line of running apparel and accessories. So run, don't walk, and talk running with a staff who knows.
Flying Feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83.
High school football is on Sports Radio 1350 this fall. Tune in every Friday night for the WOYK High School Football Game of the Week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Your kids, your teams.
Henry has it, turns the corner, he's inside the 5, he's at the goal line, he's into the end zone, and
Andrew Henry, 7-yard touchdown run would not be denied.
It's local sports from local people on York's only local sports station. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Rebs hosting the Bluefish this afternoon, looking to make it 3 straight in the win column as Rami Lewis gets set to go. We will pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Well, Rami Lewis in his warm-ups. He comes in today 9-10. ERA is 3.99. He's tied for 4th in the league in wins. Overall numbers for him: 24 starts, 144 and a third innings, 160 hits, 44 walks, 96 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .282. He'll make his 4th start against the Bluefish this season. And it maybe wasn't his sharpest in the first 2, which was late in the first half, but the one start that he made in the second half in Bridgeport, pretty good. 5 innings, just 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He actually has beaten them twice this year. He's 2-1 against them. He lost at home in late June, then won 9-4 in Bridgeport on July 3rd. And then held into just 3 hits, working through 5 innings in mid-August in his most recent matchup against them. The Revs, with the head-to-head schedule being the shortest that it is against any opponent this season. They'll play the Bluefish just 14 times. The final 2 today and tomorrow. They are now 7-5 against the Bluefish, having won the last 2 nights. We're set to go as Brian Sabatella digs in, and our Dasher Investment Services first pitch for today's game is over for a called strike. Underway here on a sun-splashed Sunday evening. The light shadows from the third base side coming across by the mound. The light standard. Next one is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sabatella hitting at .267 with Bridgeport, .275 overall. Rami, who goes from the stretch, delivers, and a swing and a looper foul to the right of the net. Back into the stands, and somebody apparently made a pretty good play on it. 1-2. Sabatella leads the league in runs scored. He did a lot of his damage with Long Island early in the year. The 1-2 and a missed outside. Bluefish today are in alternate teal jerseys, also wearing charcoal gray hats with a teal brim. Rebs are in their alternate gold tops. And a 2-2. Swung on, bounced to short. Valdez up the middle. He gloves it. He'll run right into the throw and snaps it across to first. 1 up, 1 down as Valdez has a little fun with it, as he often does. Rami coming off a loss against Camden in the opening game of this homestand, 4-2, I should say. He went 8 innings, his second longest start of the year, but charged with 4 runs. His longest start since his complete game win against Lancaster June 7th. Here's Josh Prince, and he looks at a first pitch strike. Prince batting at .257, 3 home runs, 14 ribbies for the former Milwaukee Brewer. Here's the 0-1, and he shows a bunt. Rami misses away. Prince does have good speed. We've seen him middle infield and outfield. He's a versatile guy. Has 21 steals for him. Pitch, and he grounds another one to short. Valdez to his left. He sticks it, plants and fires to first. 2 down. That one stayed low, but he had the glove down right against the dirt, and it rolled right into the pocket. It's a 2 down on ground balls to short. Rami ranks 5th in the league in total innings, and he went 8 in that last start, 7 the one before that. Not bad for a guy who'd been a late inning reliever almost his whole career. Here's Wellington Dotel, who tries to bunt his way on, bunts through the first one. And it's a strike on him. It wasn't really much of a call there. I believe he foul-tipped it, but whether it was a foul tip or a bunt and a miss, it's no balls and a strike. The league leader in hitting, the 0-1, and he swings, fouls it away, right field side. Batting at .333. Revs have held him 1 for 8 in the first 2 nights here. Here's the stretch. And the 0-2. Change up, down and away. As Dotel holds off. Leads the league in hits, total bases, extra base hits, slugging percentage, triples, steals. There's the 1-2. And he swings and fouls it back. Out of play. He's also got 7 home runs, so he can hit the long ball too. On the pitch. Strike 3 called. Tied him up with a fastball in. And Dotel could not pull the trigger. 1-2-3 first inning for Rami. A pair of ground outs and a K. And at the end of a half inning, it's the Bluefish nothing. The Revs coming up.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this has sounded just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Revolution!
Sure, you're counting down to kickoff, but there's plenty of baseball left this summer. The York Revolution have 14 home games in September, and it's easy for you to be there with the September 6-pack. 6 tickets for any remaining game at Santander Stadium this season, 2 parking passes, and a free $10 food card for ballpark treats. A savings of 25% over box office prices, plus $10 in free food, so head to YorkRevolution.com to purchase your September 6-pack. As Yogi Berra would say, baseball season ain't over till it's over.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Revs ready to come to the plate. A 1-2-3 first inning for Rami. And Eric Patterson to get things started for the Revs. David Anderson making his second start against York. And the young right-hander, 5'10", 160, delivers, and Patterson takes high. Patterson hitting at .251. He's in the leadoff spot for the 3rd straight night. behind the 1-0. And a swing and a line drive right field. Dotel shading his eyes, struggling with it, but he's got it. He was with the glove up, shading his eyes, and for a moment it looked like he was having real trouble judging the depth of that liner, but it turned out to be right around the area where he had been camped. He reached down low to his left and made the grab, and now he's running toward the first baseman Rodriguez to get a pair of shades from him. Well, one away. Patterson hit it pretty hard. And here's Wilson Valdez. David Anderson in 4 starts, 2-0 with a 2.38 ERA, 22 2/3, only 18 hits, 9 walks, 14 Ks. He's not allowed a homer. Pitch to Valdez is over for a strike. Anderson had been in the North Country League earlier this year, where Ferdinand, Calderon, Scooters had been. The 0-1. And a breaking ball twisted a little low. Valdez hitting .263, entering play today. .301 the last 34. And there's a curveball down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Last season, Anderson was still pitching in college. He's a rookie. Played at Muhlenberg. There's a swing and a foul over the roof, first base side. 2-2. Native of Syracuse, New York. He's turned 22 a little over a month ago. A little bit out of the norm to have a player that young in this league. He deals, and it's fought off against the netting. He faced the Revs in a game in Bridgeport mid-August and picked up a 3-2 win, 5 2/3. He gave up 1 run on 4 hits, but he danced around 6 walks. The Revs couldn't make him pay. Pitch, curveball, pulled foul right past the bag at third. They stranded 7 runners against him that day. That was in his debut. Now they have seen him before. Here's the pitch. And a ground ball, shortstop, backhanding it, Juan Martinez. He gets rid of it, threw it low, but Andres Rodriguez picks it out. And 2 down. Martinez, first chance, back with the Bluefish. And he dumped the throw in the dirt, but Rodriguez helped him at the other end. At 2 away, and Andres Perez to the dish. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Dre batting at .287, entering play today. Ranked 6th in the league. League leader in ribbies. First pitch is over for a strike. 72 runs driven in, still leads the league by 2, entering play today. Tied for 4th in homers with 14. The 0-1, and he leaves it up high. So leading the league in doubles with 28. 4 bats today. He'll have 1,500 for his Revs career. As he swings here, chops one. Left side sliding pick. Batista pops up, throws just in time at first. Wilson Batista toward the hole. He slid to his left, made a flashy pick, spun, and the throw nipped Perez at first. It's a 1-2-3 first inning for both starters. We go to the second today. No score.
Broadway Transmission I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man.
I know they help me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. Our winning team offers everything from concussion management and sports nutrition to physical therapy and more. For more information, call 877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
No score, we start the second. C.J. Rutherford leading it off for Bridgeport and looks at a ball away from Rami. Both starters with 1-2-3 first innings. And the 1-0 swung on and fouled against the net. Rutherford, who was in Mexico to start the year, playing in his fourth game with Bridgeport today. 2 for 11 at the plate. He's DHing and hitting cleanup. On the stretch, the 1-1. And a swing and a fly ball foul the other way in right. Very good Sunday crowd on hand. Both sides of the seating bowl mostly full. The final Sunday home game will be the final day of the regular season. That'll be a really special one. As Rami delivers and is swinging a pop-up. Paniagua off with the mask, over to his right, and he's got room. Makes the play over near the Revs on deck circle. And one down. The next Sunday home game in 2 weeks, the final day of the regular season, and Redland Little League will be here, and the Revs will be wearing those Redland Little League replica jerseys that'll be auctioned off, proceeds going to their league. As we honor the national champs here, that game moved from 5 p.m. to 2 p.m., so make note on your schedules, 2 p.m. that day. Here is Andres Rodriguez. And he jumps away, a fastball in tight. It's hitting at 237, 6 home runs, 44 driven in. Now he's been hot, 375 his last 10. It's the 1-0 from Rami, and that's down low. Changeup missed. Stephen Penny struck out Rodriguez to end the game last night. He's gone 1 for 4 each of the first 2 games here. The 2-0, and off the plate away is Lewis runs his first 3-ball count of the day. When he first came to the league, he was with Bridgeport back in 2012. He fires. Line drive right past Rami's glove and into center. Good night. Oh, that thing was scalded. And Rami motions into the dugout just how close that was. He normally is so tough and doesn't react to anything like that. But that was so close to his nose, it wasn't even funny. He flung the glove up, and it had some slice to it and went right past his head. A single to center. And we have seen when Rodriguez touches the ball, he can really pulverize it. Here's Wilson Batista, rolls one to short. Valdez to his right, slings to second. The turn is in time. And a 6-4-3 double play on the very next pitch. Rami motions to the plate, to Jesus, just how close that was as he comes off. And he can laugh about it now. No runs, one hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second, no score.
Maple Donuts knows that there comes a point in every kid's summer when the feeling of unfettered freedom begins to fold up faster than a picnic blanket at the first drop of an unexpected summer storm. Charlie and his Maple Donuts team understand that all too soon, lazy mornings on the sofa, splashing in the pool, and weeknight sleepovers will be replaced by bus stops, backpacks, and morning announcements. But Maple Donuts says there's a bright side to the first day of school, kids, because when you stumble into the kitchen that first morning, chances are you'll be greeted by Mom, enjoying her cup of Maple Donuts' famous coffee and sitting next to a back-to-school tradition, a box of Maple Donuts. And somewhere buried in that box, hand-picked by Mom from Maple Donuts' 58 varieties, you may find that, yes, summer is over, but another school year may not be so bad after all. So for every kid coming to grips with going back to school, we say thanks, Mom. And thank you, Maple Donuts.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Joel's Painting and Contracting is a proud sponsor of the York Revolution. They are also a partner in the maintenance of Santander Stadium. Joel's Painting and Contracting is the highest rated painting company in York and Lancaster County. Now is the time to call for great deals on all of your interior and exterior projects. A community partner with thousands of happy clients. Hit a home run of Joel's Painting and schedule an appointment today or give them a call at 717-471-4273. That's 717-471-4273 for Joel's Painting and Contracting.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score. Brandon Boggs leading it off. As we start the home second, he takes a strike. Middle third of the order for the Revs. Boggs then pounds. Here's the 0-1. And a curveball missed away. And then it'll be Nash. Boggs hitting at .265. 11 home runs, 44 driven in. There's the wind, the 1-1. Line to right field and in for a base hit. Dotel has to play it on one hop. Boggs another hard hit ball as he yanks it to right. And it's a leadoff single. It's now hit safely in 6 in a row. Longest active streak on the team. Earlier in this series, he homered in the first game, doubled last night. He had extra base hits the first 2 games. Here's Brian Pounds. First pitch is a high strike call up around the belt, or a little above it. John Harrington was giving that pitch last night. Kind of refreshing to see for pitchers. Pounds at .274, 11 home runs. Anderson holds, deals, and missed down low. It bounced off the glove of Rodriguez, who pounces on it quickly. Pounds third in the league in on base, 5th in slugging. Anderson made his debut against York August 15th. He walked 6. He's combined to only walk 3 in the 3 starts since. Here's a curveball that floats high. And the count 2-1. A lot of curveballs from him. It's a very slow curve. He gave up just 1 run in each of his first 3 starts and had allowed only 10 hits in 17 and 2/3 innings the first 3. As he steps off. His last start, a no decision at Long Island. That's the first team that he had faced a second time. He faced them for a second straight start. 5 innings, 5 runs, 3 earned on 8 hits. Boggs takes off, a swing and a miss. Rodriguez the throw, and the tag got him. He is known as the Machete, and he throws out Boggs, his former teammate, trying to steal. Prince puts on the tag, and 1 away with the bases cleared off. He has been known as one of the best throwing catchers in league history, if not the best. 2-4 on the caught stealing. 2-2 to Pounds. A curveball missed high. He had swung at that pitch, trying to help Boggs. Has a full count. 3-2. Swung on and hit in the air, center field. Chapman will range over toward right center and puts it away. So 2 down. Both pitchers still have faced the minimum, even though they've each given up 1 hit. And here's Talvin Nash, who has homered in back-to-back games. On his homestand, 7 for 14. 2 homers and a double. First pitch, a slider and a high strike. Nash up to 270 now. The home run last night, his 6th. It will be his 7th when that suspended game resumes. And he swings here, hits one in the air, shallow center. Chapman coming in, and he'll squeeze it. Nash hit it off the end of the bat on a slider. And very similar to Rami, each pitcher, or Anderson I should say, gives up a hit, but has still faced the minimum. Both pitchers have gone 6 up, 6 down as we head to the third. 2 innings complete, no score here today in York.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Revolution!
Sure, you're counting down to kickoff, but there's plenty of baseball left this summer. The York Revolution have 14 home games in September, and it's easy for you to be there with the September 6-pack. 6 tickets for any remaining game at Santander Stadium this season, 2 parking passes, and a free $10 food card for ballpark treats. A savings of 25% over box office prices, plus $10 in free food, so head to YorkRevolution.com to purchase your September 6-pack. As Yogi Berra would say, baseball season ain't over till it's over.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Top of the third, Revs and Bluefish scoreless. Rami's first pitch is away on Juan Martinez leading off the inning. Let's welcome in Paul Braverman and his Skittles.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can talk here for the first few minutes.
Pitch to Juan is down low, 2-0. He's just back from Amarillo of the American Association, where he had played the full season. Bluefish adding 3 new players during this series, 2 pitchers, as Martinez checks and takes a strike, and we may have some Bridgeport fans tuned in. So right-hander Freddie Flores, left-hander Wander Perez are the other 2. There's the stretch from Rami, the 2-1 to Martinez, and he swings and fouls one straight back. He has been named the K-Man today. His first game with the Bluefish this season. Of course, his older brother Octavio is enjoying the bullpen catching duties for the Washington Nationals.
Tips.
Former Rev as well. The pitch swung on, ripped it short on one hop, right to Valdez. He'll send it across in time for the out. One away on the fourth ground ball that Valdez has handled it short.
That bullpen catching in the big leagues, it's all about the tips, man. The tip from Steven Strasburg, Jordan Zimmerman.
When you interviewed him, did he tell you what the tip was?
We didn't get into that. I mean, that's tax-free, so, you know, tax purposes, we can't really talk about that. You're just pocketing that.
Here's Luis Rodriguez, and he swings first pitch, lofts a lazy fly to right. Boggs comes in, waits, squeezes it. Two hands above his cap, and there's two down. Rami, a one pitch out. Those are always nice. Against his former catcher when he was a late inning reliever and eventually a closer for the Bluefish back in 2012. That was the first season after his 2 years in the majors with Toronto. And then now, of course, in his third year with York.
Key lime pie.
Yeah. There's Ethan Chapman, who takes the first pitch strike. One of our all-time great rants. It's tough to rank them, though. They're all good.
Only the most ardent listeners are going to understand these references, and they hear the promos playing on OYK.
Fastball in, 1-1. No, that was one of my favorites. We are due to do another one. Just need some topics. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball. It's over for a strike. 1-2. Chapman hitting at 246. A home run, 14 driven in. 1-2. Swung on and tapped foul to the right of home plate. No score here in the top of the third. Rami to the belt. And he kicks, fires, and a swing and a dribbler toward the middle. It's Patterson at second today. He gloves, fires just in time. Nipped him at first as Patterson circled it toward the middle. Got a little momentum into that throw. And a strong throw indeed to first base. Another 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless.
Whether it's for sport, protection, or recreation, Spar Firearms is the best place to go for all of your firearm needs. With a large selection of new and used firearms, Spar carries an array of brands, as well as ammo and other accessories. Whether you're an avid collector, sharpshooting expert, hunter, or weekend enthusiast, Spar Firearms provides everything you need no matter your experience. For the best in convenience, selection, and customer service, visit Spar Firearms, 6108 Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg, and online at sparfirearms.com.
Turn this on.
The Rich Eisen Show.
He is unbelievable.
Rich Eisen.
Let's go to the phone lines. They are lit. Catherine in South Carolina, can I help you?
Yes, I am having emotional distress.
Don't.
I'm going to sue the Jones family.
Don't.
This is crazy. It's the most stupid, idiotic thing. The Jones are screwing this up. And I am sick. I've left work. I'm nauseous. He's strung us out on DeMarco.
Well, what about the idea that anybody could run behind that offensive line? Catherine, you don't buy that one?
DeMarco is family. He and Tony and Jason do everything together. He's family. I just started to be a Cowboys fan again, and happiness has just plunged to despair. What the Jones has done to my emotional state, they should be sued.
Don't go litigious on me here, okay?
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score. We go to the bottom of the third. One of the Revs' hottest hitters, Salvador Paniagua, leading off and looks at a strike. He's hitting at 248. That's a long way up from where he was. 6 home runs.
Well, about 357 the last month, right?
Yeah, and he breaks his bat here, rolls it to deep short. Martinez circles it, throws it against his body, and gets him at first. There was a shard that went flying on the infield grass. Broken bat brought to you by Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. You've got an ash tree, then EAB could be a real problem of yours, and Heritage Lawn is the experts in handling that. Visit heritagelawnandlandscape.com and sign them up. Bring on Nick Ferdinand. Ferd hitting at .258 coming in today. Hit his 9th home run the other night, his 6th at home, his 5th over the arch nemesis as Anderson misses wide with a slider. Start in left field again. The 1-0. And a slider just missed. Down and away. Ferdinand held without a hit last night, but he does look a lot more comfortable in there again. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Had a good rip at it. Speaking of Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, our home run contest participant today is Zach Gomez. Good luck, Zach. There's the 2-1, and that's over for a strike. If a Revs player goes deep, Zach, you'll win a prize pack courtesy of the Revs and Heritage Lawn.
No shortage of prize packs on this homestand.
Yeah. Pitch to Ferdinand. He pops it up. At first base, Andres Rodriguez running down the line, and it'll land foul in the Revs bullpen, and Karam's up toward the front of the picnic area.
Now the Revs don't have that 25 or more type home run hitter, but there's really not a guy in the league like that this year. But the Revs are second in the Atlantic League in total home runs. Of course, Lancaster and the bandbox first, as they normally are, but you know, there isn't one guy in the entire league with that big total, but the Revs with Patterson getting his 10th last night, 4 guys in double digits. So Perez with 14, then Pounds and Boggs with 11, Patterson with 10. So they've hit the ball out of the ballpark.
A curveball gets him swinging here, 2 down.
Ferdinand just on the cusp of double digits with 9. So add it all up, and they've done a good job with the long ball this year. But they haven't sacrificed too much in on-base percentage, as they also have Brian Pounds, who leads the Atlantic League in walks. So
Boggs is up there too.
Yeah.
And they're second in on-base, 3rd in total hitting, 2nd in homers, 3rd in steals. A lot of ways they could beat you on any given night. Here's James Simmons, who takes the first pitch strike. By the way, the team record for most players in double figures in homers is 6. 5 would be tied for 3rd most in Revs history.
Well,
there's a slider in the dirt. They appeal, and he held.
4 right now with Ferdinand. Can get 1 more, will be 5. Telvin Nash needs 3 more to get to 10, which is not out of the question. So I'd say they have a pretty good chance at tying that franchise record and getting 6. I think Ferdinand will definitely get 1 more in the last few weeks here, but Nash, 3 not out of the question for him. That's what his job description is to hit the ball deep.
Fastball in on Simmons, 2-1. They had 6 in both 2010 and 2011. 6 players in double home run figures. The 2-1 swung on, grounded off the end of the bat. Batista again, and he cost his shortstop a chance. Simmons is safe. He went to his left, slid right in front of Juan Martinez, and then trying to get up to make the throw, he basically fell over and never did make a throw. Although with Simmons running, he may have beaten it all anyway. It's an infield hit.
That's just not a smart play by Batista. I mean, you want to give him credit for laying out for the ball and making an athletic play to get to it, but he's way off the bag at 3rd. It would have been much more routine to let the shortstop handle that. And then, you know, he can't get to his feet, does a little stanky leg there and just kind of collapses, can't get his balance, and you know, has no chance. I mean, works out for Simmons, gets a hit out of it.
Here's Patterson, who looks at 1 low.
I mean, it was a mental error on Batista, but you can't really give him an error on that play, so good for Simmons. He won't argue to get the infield hit.
Patterson hit it hard his first time, but lined out to right. Stretch from Anderson, the 1-0, and he missed low again.
Well, we had Willie Bats here, and, you know, he often plays the game with reckless abandon, which is good. You know, he goes, you know, when he goes down swinging. He's a guy with a sneaky amount of power, you know. Comes to the yard ready to play, but sometimes being overzealous like that can hurt your club, and he just has to let shortstop handle that one there.
Pitch over for a strike, 2-1. No score here in the bottom of the third. Simmons is at first base with 2 down, extending the inning. With Bridgeport to start the year, several former Bluefish on this Revs team. Pitch to Patterson is grounded right side. To his left is Prince. He scoops it, double pumps, and it cost him, and Patterson safe. He went over to his left and running into shallow right. Trying to get his footing to make that throw. He had to pump once in order to get it away, and by that point Patterson beat it. It too is an infield hit, and it's first and second for Wilson Valdez.
Man, I'd love to see Patterson's spray chart from the last few days. I mean, he has literally hit it all over. It's his 3rd or 4th infield hit of the homestand. You know, took a home run right down the line last night. Scraped over for a line drive shot. Not an easy place to hit it in this ballpark, and you know, to oversimplify it, good things happen when you're just making contact and putting the bat on the ball, and Patterson has just made a lot of contact and has had some couple good bounces, but he's hustled out a lot of stuff that could have been close plays the other way.
Now pitch low on Wilson Valdez, and Rodriguez came out. He was going to throw behind Simmons, the lead runner at second, but held it. 2-0 on Valdez. He bats with first and second and 2 outs, trying to open the scoring here in the third.
Yeah, Simmons was caught off the bag in the Paniagua walk-off game 10-6 2 nights ago, and that was a 2-out jam, and it's a couple of runs that the Revolution really needed. They ended up winning anyway, so Simmons not being held on at second, he can afford to get out to a bigger lead here.
Next one's up and in, 3-0. Valdez reaches. Anderson would have to deal with Andres Perez, who's on deck. And out of the stretch. He deals. Valdez jumps back. It's way in. 4-pitch walk. And Anderson had the first 2 outs. 3 straight have reached to load the bases for Dre. First walk of today's game for Anderson. We mentioned he walked 6 in his first start against York and got away with it. Only a combined 3 in his 3 starts since. It's his first today, and they are loaded for Dre. Grounded out to third base, his first at bat. Here's the stretch from Anderson, first offering, way outside and high.
He's too afraid to make a mistake here, but there's no place to put him. I mean, you're going to have to challenge him. Nobody wants to challenge the guy leading the league in RBI and leading the club in homers, but, you know, there's no way that Perez was going to hand one over to him and chase that on the first pitch.
Here's the 1-0. And that's over for a strike, a 2-seamer that had some late tail up in the zone. And he had thrown 5 straight balls, so Dre was watching it there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pair of infield hits and a walk to load the bases with 2 outs. Here's the stretch. And Anderson, the 1-1. Swung on, launched way up in the air, behind short. Martinez backs out, waves his arms, in shallow left, he squeezes it. Revs leave him loaded. No runs, 2 hits, and it's still scoreless. We'll head to the 4th inning. Paul with the call. It's the Revs nothing, the Bluefish nothing.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off, neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
It's going to be another epic year in high school football, and Sports Radio 1350 is ready for kickoff. Tune in every Friday night this fall for the high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to WOIK1350.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the 2015 York Adams League. The high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch the action every Friday night on Sports Radio 1350, online at WOIK1350.com, or download the WOIK mobile app.
Hi, this is Wayne McCullough. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. for Central PA Game Day, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Join us as we celebrate the best of local sports with your teams and your student athletes. Interviews with players and coaches, and the high school scoreboard show every Saturday morning. Central PA Game Day, Saturdays at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
We go to the top of the fourth inning. Still no score between York and Bridgeport here at Santander Stadium. 3 hits for the Revs, just 1 for the Bluefish, as lefty Rami Lewis back to work here in the middle innings. Paul Braverman, thanks for joining me in Darrell Henry's absence. And unfortunately, the Revs, after a pair of singles and a walk, left them loaded a half inning ago, and Lewis back to work with ball 1, outside and high. To Brian Sabatella, the Bridgeport leadoff man, 0 for 1, grounded to Valdez at short to begin the game as we begin our second run through the Bridgeport batting order. Second pitch swinging, lined into right, down for a hit on 2 hops in front of Brandon Boggs. So Sabatella with the second Bridgeport knock of the day, and Josh Prince will be next. Prince likewise 0 for 1 with a grounder to short back in the first. Beginning this season in the Detroit Tigers organization at AA Erie in the Eastern League. In Pennsylvania, but a solid 5 hours from York, drive time. Paniagua sets up on the outside corner and misses low with it. Does Lewis, and the count is 1-0. Sabatella being held on at first by Telvin Nash. And Lewis from the stretch with a man at first. The lefty deals, swinging high and away, and runner moving on the play. Paniagua unloads, throw is high, but Valdez fields it and tags him high, and Sabatella's out. 2-6 on the caught stealing. Paniagua, a tough pitch to throw on as Prince swung high and away. As Paniagua had to deal with the bat in front of him, but it was in a good spot high as he was already to his feet, and Valdez, a nice play to get the high throw and put the tag around Sabatella's shoulders. So Paniagua clears the bases, 1 out, and a 1-1 offering to Prince. The number 2 batter and Bridgeport second baseman rolls it to second. Patterson up with it, bobbled it for a moment, and Prince beats this one out. And Patterson will probably be charged with an error. Sharp grounder took a couple late low hops and ate up Patterson, running up his glove, and it will be an error on Eric Patterson, and Prince beats it out at first. Patterson recovered and fired a strike to Nash, but beating it by a step was Prince. So back to a runner on first with 1 out, and Wellington Dotel the batter. Rami Lewis's only strikeout victim today got him looking to end the top of the first. 333 with 7 home runs and 62 RBI coming into today for Wellington Dotel, and the first offering from Lewis is tipped foul back to the screen, and the count is 0-1. Setting at the waist, Paniagua sets up inside now on the righty Dotel. Lewis deals, swing and a miss, jammed him in. 0-2 the count. Still no score, top of the fourth. York out hitting Bridgeport 3-2 in the early going. Lewis takes a look at the runner at first. It's Josh Prince now, 0-2 offering. Tipped foul off the plate. off the end of Dotel's bat, and the count remains 0-2. Wellington Dotel leading the Atlantic League in average. Out injured all last year, last played for El Paso in 2013 when El Paso was an American Association city. The Diablos franchise no more, replaced by the Padres AAA team, and now their second season, the El Paso Chihuahuas. 0-2 pitch, reached out on the outside strike and slapped it down the line in right field. This will be a double for Wellington Dotel. Throw comes into second from Boggs and right, but Dotel in standing up with a two-base hit. Josh Prince moves from first to third on the play. So Lewis hit his spot over the outer half, but flinging the bat at it was Dotel and slapped it down the line into the right field corner. So now a jam here with one out. The Bluefish trying to break up a scoreless game with Prince at third and Dotel at second. C.J. Rutherford, who popped out to Paniagua to begin the second, steps in, the designated hitter and cleanup man today for Bridgeport. First pitch swinging, lifted foul down the right field line and out of play. 0-1 the count to Rutherford. Lewis looking for a punch out here as Prince, reaching on the air, moved to third on the Dotel double to right. Could have been worse this inning. Sabatella led the inning with a single, but was caught stealing by Paniagua. Paniagua set up a bit outside, now creeps in, and Lewis misses high with it. 1-1 the count to C.J. Rutherford. Rutherford was on Bridgeport's roster briefly at the beginning of the year, then defected to Campeche of the Mexican League, the Piratas de Campeche, or the Campeche Pirates in English. That's the club that Johan Lamonta signed with after beginning last season in New York. And Rutherford smacks the next Lewis offering into left. Line drive single, drives in one run, and then Ferdinand has trouble with it. 2 runs will score, and the second of which will probably be unearned on the Ferdinand bobble in left field. That'll probably go as an error. So Rutherford with the RBI single. The righty pulls it on a line to left. It'll be 1 RBI for him, scoring Prince from third. Actually, both runs will probably be unearned here, or at least they are for the time being, as Prince reached on an error. He scores from third. Dotel came around from second and scored, and probably would not have if not for the Ferdinand bobble. So we'll see. And they didn't put an error up in Bridgeport with 4 hits, so give it a 2-run single for Rutherford. So in the official scorer's estimation, Dotel scores anyway, so 2 RBI for Rutherford. And 1 of the 2 runs earned thus far with Prince reaching on the error. And Dotel on the double. 0-1 pitch, bounce to third, should be a 5-4-3 double play, and it is. They get Andres Rodriguez, who sent the chopper down the line at third just in time on an 0-1 pitch. So Rutherford out 5-4 at second, pounds to Patterson, Nash on the 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. So side retired, but not before Bridgeport scores twice on a C.J. Rutherford 2-run single to left. Revs trailing when we come back on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis
Ace
raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around, look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will endure opponent after opponent, match after match. Shoes that move when and how you move and stop at your command. Shoes that fit and feel good so your feet are ready and able to take that next set. Flying Feet's team includes Asics, New Balance, Wilson, and K-Swiss in widths that fit. And the Flying Feet staff is always on the sidelines ready to help with your selection. Tennis, it's a whole new game. Be prepared to play it well.
Flying Feet.
Flying Feet Sports Shoes, just off exit 18 of I-83, right behind Domino's in York.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, President of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879 or my mobile is 487-2096 or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Boggs, Pounds, and Nash will lead off the bottom of the fourth for York. Brandon Boggs, the switch-hitting lefty, steps in, cleaning up in right field today. For the Revolution, right-hander David Anderson back to work here in the fourth. It's 2-0 Bridgeport, out hitting the Revolution 4-3. In the early going today, called strike to Boggs, 0-1. C.J. Rutherford's 2-run single, our only scoring play in the top of the fourth, and poked into center field on the 0-1. Boggs on with a hit. End of the bat, drops it in front of Ethan Chapman, the center fielder, in a Texas League single for Boggs. And the Revolution, for the second time today, have the leadoff man aboard. Brian Pounds now flew out to center field in the second. He's 0 for 1. Boggs now 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles. Each team with 4 base hits and a called strike on the outer corner to Pounds. 0-1 is the count. Brian Pounds trying to bust out of a little bit of a funk here on this homestand. Began the homestand 0 for 13. He's 2 for 17 since the Revs returned home on Tuesday, and he takes the 0-1 pitch and lines it into left. Caught by Brian Sabatella. So Pounds 0 for 2 today with the fly out to left field. Talvin Nash 0 for 1, flew out to center to end the second inning. And the big first baseman steps in from the right-hand side. So Boggs led the inning with a single. He's still at first with 1 out. It's Bridgeport 2, York 0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Talvin Nash has homered in each of the last 2 games. You have to give the Revolution the lion's share of the credit for the way the ball has been flying out of this ballpark on this homestand. And the Revs are 3-2 here in Game 6 of a 7-game homestand here today. But the humid weather, the thin air here in the first week of September has certainly affected the way the baseball has flown here. But you have to square it up first, so the hitters still get the credit, and good hitters take advantage of missed pitches and favorable weather conditions. Talvin Nash pops the 1-0 pitch up into foul ground first base side. The pitcher, David Anderson, stays put and watches his catcher, Luis Rodriguez, go make the play, calling off the first baseman, Andres Rodriguez. So one Rodriguez steps in front of another and snares it, and Talvin Nash 0 for 2 on the pop-up. So the Revolution in jeopardy of squandering the leadoff single here by Brandon Boggs. In steps Salvador, 0 for 1. Grounded to short to begin the bottom of the third. Revs catcher batting 7th today and takes ball 1 low and away. 1-0 the count to Paniagua. 3 home runs on this homestand. A 2-homer game back on Wednesday in a 9-2 win over Camden. And then, of course, the walk-off grand salami. Bottom of the ninth. 2 days ago in the series opener against Bridgeport, a 10-6 Revs win. This one rocketed to third, past the diving Wilson Bautista into left. It's a base hit for Salvador as he continues his hot homestand, 1 for 2 today. So Paniagua at first, that'll move Boggs down to second. And Nick Ferdinand a chance to hit with 2 on and 2 out here. 0 for 1 Struck out swinging in the third. That is David Anderson's only strikeout thus far today. So in left field for a third straight game is Nick Ferdinand. Moving up one spot, 8th in the order, hitting 9th the last 2 nights. First offering to Ferdinand, takes a hack but pops it up foul. Up over the screen and out of play. 0-1 the count. So Paniagua, a low liner to third, gets down on the ground and hops over the glove of the diving Wilson Bautista down into the left field corner, but goes for just a single, but a runner in scoring position now. Boggs at second after his leadoff hit as the Revolution try to get on the board here. The 0-1 pitch dribbled toward the Revs dugout, first base side. And now Ferdinand in an 0-2 count. And before Paniagua's walk-off homer 2 days ago in the series opener, it was Ferdinand's solo shot that tied it at 6 in the 8th, setting the table for Paniagua's walk-off granny in the 9th. 0-2 pitch, swung on it, missed. Ferdinand chasing it outside. And the Revolution strand 2 runners. That's the second strikeout of the day for Anderson, both of Ferdinand. So the Revs left them loaded in the third. They strand 2 here in the 4th. And it's 2-0 Bridgeport, heading to the 5th. Back in a moment on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Revolution!
Sure, you're counting down to kickoff, but there's plenty of baseball left this summer. The York Revolution have 14 home games in September, and it's easy for you to be there with the September 6-pack. 6 tickets for any remaining game at Santander Stadium this season, 2 parking passes, and a free $10 food card for ballpark treats. A savings of 25% over box office prices, plus $10 in free food, so head to YorkRevolution.com to purchase your September 6-pack. As Yogi Berra would say, baseball season ain't over till it's over.
Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at all your favorite neighborhood family markets. Use your gold card every time you shop and you'll automatically receive your savings and rewards. And you'll get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Nell's, Saubles, Wetzel's, Chris's New Oxford, and Stauffer's Downingtown markets. So get into the game with some great savings at all your favorite neighborhood family markets. Always a hit and always a great catch.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Wilson Bautista leads off the top of the 5th inning for Bridgeport, who lead York 2-0. Rami Lewis starts him high and away, ball 1. Batting 6th at third base, Wilson Bautista, in his only at bat thus far, rolled a 6-4-3 double play ball to Wilson Valdez to end the top of the 2nd. As Lewis pumps in a called strike. 1-1 the count to the man affectionately known as Willie Bats around these parts. Here's the 1-1, swung on and tipped foul straight back. 1-2 the count to Bautista. Bautista with the York Revolution for the duration of the 2012 season. Was it 12? No, it was 2013. It was Mason's first year as manager after Etch retired in 2012. So 2013, Bautista was here. Takes the 1-2 pitch. Sharp grounder up the line at third, past the diving glove of Pounds into the left field corner. Bautista will cruise into second with a stand-up double, well ahead of Ferdinand's throw. So Bautista with a leadoff double here in the 5th. Ground ball right up the line at third, and Pounds was not cheating that line enough. Dove for it, but gets by him. Over the top of the bag. Juan Martinez now 0 for 1, grounder to short in the 3rd. Second time in as many innings, Bridgeport has put the leadoff man on. They scored twice in the 4th and lead it 2-0 here in the top of the 5th. Lewis steals and high and away, 1-0. So Juan Martinez batting with nobody out and a runner at second, each team with 5 base hits, but it's 2-0 Bridgeport here in the 5th. The Revolution have stranded 5 runners today, all in the 3rd and 4th inning. Bases loaded in the 3rd, they left 2 an inning ago. And the 1-0 pitch lifted toward the sweet level on the first base side. Out of play, and that'll even the count at 1-1, judging from the fan applause. A fan in the seating bowl made a nice grab off the deflection from upstairs. And it sets up a 1-1 from Lewis. Ooh, looked good on the outer half of the plate. Rami Lewis clearly not in agreement with the call of ball 2. So 2-1 to Martinez, the righty. And now Martinez backs out and calls time. It'll be 2-1. Lewis, a long look into Paniagua. Sets at the waist, looks at the runner at second. He's slowed down his pace quite a bit here in the 5th, and the 2-1 misses high. 3-1 the count to Martinez. Wilson Bautista at second after his leadoff double down the left field line. And Lewis deals and gets Martinez to pop it up. The 3-1 pitch skied right behind the mound. Telvin Nash at first comes over and makes the play. So Martinez pops out. Bautista remains at second and couldn't ask for a better outcome there for York. But still a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Luis Rodriguez, the longest tenured Bridgeport player, the Machete. And their catcher, 0 for 1, flew out to Boggs in right back in the 3rd. And now Lewis steps off the rubber. Rami needs time. A quick handle of the rosin bag. And now Paniagua's going to come out. The battery mates here want to talk about signs, as perhaps Wilson Bautista could pick something up at second after the double. So the signs are reset. And Luis Rodriguez still awaiting the first Rami Lewis offering. Bridgeport 2, York nothing. Top of the 5th. Runner at second with 1 out. Lewis glances at Bautista at second and finally goes home with it and misses away. 1-0 the count to Luis Rodriguez. And the lefty's 1-0, missing low and inside. 2-0 the count now, so Rami Lewis has pitched well with runners on base, aside from the Rutherford 2-run single, and has been behind in counts a good portion of the day, but hasn't really let it phase him. He ended the 2nd and 4th innings, respectively, on double play balls to short and 3rd. But he misses away on the 2-0, and 3-0 the count here to Luis Rodriguez. See if they green light him with a runner in scoring position, as to avoid perhaps a potential inning-ending double play, as Lewis might intentionally walk him here to set up a potential inning-ending ground ball, but he throws a called strike in the outer corner. 3-1 the count now to Rodriguez. The Revolution 3-2 in game number 6 of this 7-game homestand, but have taken the first 2 of this 4-game series against the Bluefish. Here's the 3-1, swung on and lifted toward the gap in left field. A long run and a dive for Simmons, can't get there. It's behind him onto the track, rolling to the base of the wall. Rodriguez jogs into second with a stand-up double, switching spots with Wilson Bautista. He scores with 1 out after his leadoff double. It's 3-0 Bridgeport on Rodriguez's 20th RBI of 2015. So the Rodriguez double makes it 3-zip as a pair of doubles, 2 left off of Rami Lewis here in the 5th, as that one was crushed into the gap and left. James Simmons got to the ball, but just out of his reach, or perhaps over his glove as he dove for it. Ferdinand did not really have a play from left. Ethan Chapman, the left-handed center fielder for the Bluefish, steps in and takes ball 1 high and tight. 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. To end the top of the 3rd is Chapman. Top of the 5th now, 3-0 Bridgeport, and we round out the Bluefish lineup for the 2nd time tonight as Lewis delivers a called strike. 1-1 the count to Chapman. Runner still at second with 1 out. 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th for Bridgeport, and they lead the Revolution 3-0. It'll be a 1-1. Lewis takes a look at the runner at second. Paniagua sets up outside with the lefty. And where did that miss? My goodness. If anything, it caught too much of the plate, and Lewis, a look of trepidation as Fred DeJesus just missed that one. 2-1, the count after Lewis could not get a call. And the next one misses low, 3-1. It should be 2-2, but you can't play the should-be game. So you have to move on to the next pitch if an umpire misses the call. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts,
Maple Donuts
we'd all have
knows that
a
there
Merry
comes a
Christmas.
point in every kid's summer when the feeling of unfettered freedom begins to fold up faster than a picnic blanket at the first drop of an unexpected summer storm. Charlie and his Maple Donuts team understand that all too soon, lazy mornings on the sofa splash. So for every kid coming to grip.
3-1 pitch to Chapman. Called for a strike. And the count is 3-2. So full count offering to Chapman, and Lewis steals. This one grounded to first. Nash is going to hustle and beat Chapman to the bag, taking it himself. So the unassisted ground out here for Chapman moves Rodriguez to third after his RBI double, but that's the 2nd out of the inning. 3-0 Bridgeport here in the 5th, so Rami Lewis facing Brian Sabatella. At the top of the order for the 3rd time tonight now, we'll try to keep Rodriguez there and just keep it a 3-run deficit for the Revolution offense. Paniagua sets up outside to the righty, and Sabatella a big cut and a miss. 0-1 the count to the Bridgeport leadoff man. The 0-1 pitch misses low and away. 1-1 the count to Brian Sabatella. 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th. But he was caught stealing as Salvador Paniagua had a good pitch high and away to throw on and gunned him down. 1-1 pitch lifted toward the second deck. First base side, and the count is 1-2. And from the stretch, Lewis steals and low and away. It'll be a 2-2 upcoming to Brian Sabatella. And Lewis steals and low, and did he go? It was low and away. Flinched and was able to check his swing. Count 3-2 now. The appeal to first says he did not go. 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors for Bridgeport. No runs on 5 hits and an error for the Revolution, as the Bluefish looking to avoid dropping the first 3 of this series. As after losing 2 of 3 to Camden, the Revs taking the first 2 of this 4-game series, and the 3-2 pitch grounded to second. No problem for Patterson. Back on the edge of right field, fields it and throws him out at first. So a pair of doubles in the 5th for Bridgeport. They score 1 but also strand 1. 3-0 Bluefish, with the Revs coming up in the home half on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Want to learn to skate? Want to suit up and learn how to play some hockey? Come to the coolest place in town, York Ice Arena. Learn to skate programs are now available for all ages. For every skating ability, kids of all ages will learn how to feel comfortable on ice, how to stand, and perhaps most importantly, how to fall properly. Class levels range from beginner to freestyle, where you'll learn basic jumps, spins, and footwork. Classes are taught by York Ice Arena skating instructors from White Rose Figure Skating Club. No skates? No problem. Skate rental is included in your registration. Or get on the ice for our York Ice Arena hockey programs. York Ice Arena coaches will focus on teaching proper techniques needed for anyone interested in playing hockey. Rental equipment is available for beginning players, both boys and girls. So get on the ice. Learn to skate. Learn to play. Sign up now. Group skating lessons and beginners hockey programs are forming now. Plus, York City residents get a 50% discount. Register today. Go to yorkskate.com and click on program info. York Ice Arena, the coolest place in town.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. Our winning team offers everything from concussion management and sports nutrition to physical therapy and more. For more information, call 877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 5th begins with a called strike on the outer half to James Simmons. The Revolution center fielder, 1 for 1 with a single, was left at third in the 3rd. And the righty David Anderson, working in his 5th inning, delivers another called strike, low and away. Upcoming will be the 60th pitch of Anderson's afternoon. It's 3-0 Bridgeport in the 5th, 2 in the 4th, and 1 a half inning ago for the Bluefish on 6 hits. The Revs have 5 hits, but have stranded 5 today. He's pounding low and outside to the big righty James Simmons in center field, rounding out the York lineup for the 2nd time tonight. But Simmons laid off the 0-2. This time misses over the plate, but Simmons pulls it to short on the ground. Nothing is quite routine with the speed that Simmons has, but Martinez fields it cleanly and throws him out at first for the first out here in the 5th. In the home half of the 5th, that is. Eric Patterson, 1 for 2, flew out to right field and singled. Left at second in the 3rd as the Revs left them loaded that inning. And Eric Patterson has had a really good homestand. 9 for 20 since the Revs returned home on Tuesday with a homer, a double, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored, and a couple of walks and a hit by pitch, and has stolen a base. Perez is 4 for his first 8 in this series against Bridgeport in Game 3 of 4 with a homer and 2 RBI. So the home cooking has treated Patterson well here this week at Santander Stadium. Ball and a called strike to Patterson. 1-1 the count. Bases empty with 1 out, and Patterson rolls the next offering from Anderson to second. No problem for Josh Prince. 4-3 grounder. And 2 gone in the home half Wilson Valdez, who grounded to his counterpart Juan Martinez at short in the first, walked but was left at first in the third. Anderson deals away, and I was lamenting that the home plate umpire, Fred DeJesus, completely missed a pitch over the outer half with Rami Lewis pitching, and in all fairness, he totally missed that first one, which should have been a called strike. It's pretty much down the middle against Valdez. The next one misses low and away, and 2-0 is the count, so DeJesus has missed a couple times on, in my estimation, a couple obvious ones on each side, so it's only fair to acknowledge it for both sides, and the 2-0 pitch misses high and inside. 3-0 is the count. Anderson deals again. Valdez shows bunt briefly, but then pulls back and takes ball 4 low. So Wilson Valdez, for the second time tonight, has walked on 4 consecutive pitches. That's what he did in the third. He becomes a 2-out base runner here in the bottom of the 5th, so maybe Andres Perez can make Anderson pay for this one. 2 strikeouts for Anderson, both of Nick Ferdinand. 2 walks for Anderson through 4 2/3, both of Wilson Valdez. So Perez, 0 for 2, has grounded out and popped out to short in both of his at-bats. And he takes a called strike on the outer corner, does the righty. From Anderson, Perez made a rare appearance at second base last night, getting what Mark Mason likes to call half a day off today, DHing, with Telvin Nash at first and Patterson at second. Swing and a miss, chasing away on the 0-1. 0-2 the count to Perez. And the all-time Revs hit leader looking for one more to keep a possible 2-out rally going. 3-0 Bridgeport, runner at first, 2 gone. Bottom of the 5th. And then the 0-2 pitch lifted high and fairly deep. Left field alley, running out of rumors. Both Bridgeport outfielders, and it's gone. Andres Perez, his team leading 15th home run of 2015, his Atlantic League leading 73rd RBI of 2015. And just like that, it's a 1-run game. In one swing of the bat, it's kind of been a lazy early evening Sunday, and now the Revs right back in it with some instant offense from Andres Perez. That friendly left field alley here at Santander Stadium, and Perez under it a bit, but got more than enough. And a playground shot to left. Andres Perez. The 2-run shot is 73rd and 74th RBI of 2015, and it's 3-2 Bridgeport. So Wilson Valdez works the 2-out walk. And an instant 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 5th for York. And hello, hitting's contagious. Brandon Boggs takes a 1-0 pitch and lines it into center. He's on with a single, and Boggs a little shaken up getting to first. So Boggs, after a called strike right on time on the next Anderson fastball, turned it around into center for a line single. He'll be at first with 2 out as a walk leads to a homer to make it a 1-run game, and then Boggs with a single. But now Boggs injured at first base. He was grabbing around his head and maybe something in his eye, contact issue, something like that. But Chong Choi, Revolution trainer, out to take a look along with Mark Mason. And it looked like Mason motioned into the dugout for a potential pinch runner to get ready, but now Boggs decides he's okay. It didn't really look like an orthopedic issue. Maybe something in his eye on the way to first. Not sure, but he's okay to stay in the game. And Brian Pounds, who has flown out twice, 0 for 2, tries to get his afternoon going. So 2-out walk to Valdez, 2-run homer for Andres Perez. And the Revolution suddenly out hitting Bridgeport after the Boggs single up the middle. It's 7-6 Revs in the hit column. It's still 3-2 Bridgeport, and the only column that counts. 2 runs home here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be an 0-1 after a called strike to Pounds. The righty stands back in and shoots one to short. Hard hit and a tough late in-between hop on Juan Martinez, but he backs up, heels on the outfield grass, fields it, and tosses to second to get Boggs on the fielder's choice. So 6-4 fielder's choice. Boggs is erased, and the Pounds fielder's choice ends the inning. But the Revs score twice on the Perez bomb, 3-2 Bridgeport. As we go to the 6th inning, Darrell Henry returns in a moment on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Nobody can turn your backyard into a backyard paradise better than Paradise Landscaping and Hardscaping. The outdoor pros at Paradise offer full outdoor maintenance, landscaping, hardscape design and installation. And when it comes to fall planting, mulching, and cleaning up fallen leaves, you're in luck, Revs fans. Call before September 1st to schedule your fall cleanup and clean up with 10% off. Estimates are free, fully insured. Call 577-6234 or check them out on Facebook. Paradise Landscaping and Hardscaping in York.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
It's going to be another epic year in high school football, and Sports Radio 1350 is ready for kickoff. Tune in every Friday night this fall for the high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to WOYK1350.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the 2015 York Adams League. The high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch the action every Friday night on Sports Radio 1350, online at WOYK1350.com, or download the WOYK mobile app.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 6th, Revs within a run as Rami delivers a strike on Josh Prince, leading things off. My thanks to Paul for the last couple of innings. Next one is fouled against the netting. And the count now 0-2. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Bridgeport. Beginning with Prince, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and reached on an error today. There's the stretch from Rami. And the 0-2. It's down in the dirt. Andres Perez, his 15th home run of the year, bringing the Revs within 1. Adding to his league lead in home runs with 74. Rami out of the stretch as always. Kicks and deals. And a swing and a foul tip. It bounced up off the plate on Fred DeJesus. Prince stays alive. Rami faced the minimum in the first 3 innings. Gave up 2 runs though in the 4th. 1 was unearned. 1 more run then in the 5th. Not the Revs answering with Perez 2 out, 2-run homer in the 5th, 3-2. They're out hitting Bridgeport 7-6. Pitch, it's way outside, 2-2. Now Perez on that home run, he also would have pulled into a tie for the league lead in extra base hits had Dotel not doubled earlier today. He's on deck as Prince swings and taps a foul back toward Dotel, who's in the on-deck area. Rami the stretch, fires, and a chopper toward third. Just foul. Pounds gloving it right along the line behind the bag at third base. And Josh Prince continuing a lengthy battle. 2-2 it remains. Several foul balls in the at-bat. pitch. That's high and away, and he works it full. Tremendous at bat. This will be the 9th pitch. He's got 3 2-strike fouls. And the payoff offering, he swings and fouls his 4th one back. Had to wait until Brian, our official scorer, was done checking his fantasy baseball team until I could see how many foul balls it had been. He's got both windows up. Another 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Rami wins the battle. That was the 10th pitch of the at-bat. And he got him on what might have been a ball away. Prince extending the zone slightly, perhaps. Second strikeout of the day for Rami, and that's a big leadoff runner to keep off base. Right after the Revs pull within 1. Here's Wellington Dotel. He swings, chops one up the middle. Valdez cuts it off, throws on the run, and got him. Very nicely done. Valdez charging to his left and in stride. He gloved it and fired to first. And Dotel, one of their fastest, chopping it right toward the bag at second. Valdez there to cut it off and make the throw. Now the league leader in batting is out on 1 pitch. 2 down in the inning, and C.J. Rutherford, the hitter, is 1 for 2. Drove in 2 of their runs on a single to left field in the 4th. First pitch. It's a called strike, outside corner. Bridgeport up 3-2. By the way, Dre's home run making a winner out of Zach Gomez on our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest. Zach, you can stop by the Apple Chevrolet ticket office at your convenience. Here's a check swing on a slider in the dirt. Appeal to first. He went. And Rami's on to up. No balls and 2 strikes. Looking to rebound and maybe secure a little momentum for his team after they got that 2-run homer. He's ready. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a changeup down. Strikes him out on 3 pitches, retires the side in 3 hitters, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Revs within a run. It's 3-2.
You're running cross country. No one understands how they keep score. Your friends and family don't understand why you do it, but you understand how it makes you feel. So does Flying Feet. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes has been supplying running shoes and apparel to Central PA's best since 1975. Their staff is made up of runners and coaches who understand your pleasures and your pains. If it's running or cross-country related, Flying Feet knows about it. And with the area's best selection of running shoes, running spikes, and running apparel, there's no good reason to shop anywhere else. Worried about prices? Didn't you hear? Flying Feet is a specialty athletic store without specialty store prices. Come see their selection of the best running shoes and spikes for men, women, and children. No matter what your size, your width, or your ability level, Flying Feet has a full line of running apparel and accessories. So run, don't walk, and talk running with a staff who knows. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, York, just off exit 18 of I-83.
High school football is on Sports Radio 1350 this fall. Tune in every Friday night for the WOYK High School Football Game of the Week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Your kids, your teams.
Henry has it, turns the corner, he's inside the 5, he's at the goal line, he's into the end zone. Andrew Henry, 7-yard touchdown run, would not be denied.
It's local sports from local people on York's only local sports station. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Revs within a run as Talbot Nash leads off the home 6, then looks at a slider away. 6, 7, and 8 due up. 3-2 our score. David Anderson winds and deals, and a swing and a pop-up. Had Nash a little off balance on a slider. The shortstop Martinez is there. He squeezes it. And there's one down. On our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report today, Rebs with Ian Durham and Brad Ferguson out with the elbow injuries. Anthony LaRue, the broken leg. It's your WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report. Here is Salvador Paniagua. He's 1 for 2, singled in the 4th. And Anderson with the pitch. It misses outside, a slider. 1 ball, no strikes. Paniagua now 8 for 17 on this homestand. Here's the 1-0. And it's down and away, a slider missing. 2 balls, no strikes. Eight for 17, a double, 3 homers, 9 driven in here on this week at home. 2-0, and a ground ball, left side, that'll get through, base hit. Pitch was down and in, he stayed short to it and went down and got it and yanked it into left. He is seeing the ball well at this point in time. 2 for 3 on the night. We'll bring up Nick Ferdinand. He's been at bat twice, has struck out twice. Paniagua also coming in today. Had hit .356 over his last 22. Pitch to Ferdinand is over for a strike. One on with 1 out. Revs with their 8th hit of the day off Anderson. The 0-1. And a swing and a fly ball, left center. Chapman started back, now has to sprint in, and he can't recover. Throw to second, Paniagua slides in ahead of it. And it's first and second with 1 out. His first step was back and then hustled in, could not get there. It landed just in front of his glove as he swiped up at it. Grabbed it on a short hop in shallow left center. Ferdinand fooled him on the swing. It's a blue pit. And first and second for James Simmons. Simmons 1 for 2 with an infield hit. First pitch is up high as he looks to do some damage here against his former team he'd started the year with. Had been with Bridgeport ever since 2012. On and off the last couple of years with stops in Mexico. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a foul tip, drilled the catcher Luis Rodriguez right in his face mask. As he reacted and hunched forward initially. Played on Fred DeJesus, will give him a little time. The 1-1 and a slider that missed in, almost backed up a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike. Simmons, who signed with York the first day of the second half. Pitch and a slider that just missed in, almost curled back over the corner, but he'll have a 3-1 count to work with. Top of the order, and Eric Patterson waiting on deck. Revs have gotten a bit of a break in the outfield. They have 2 on with 1 out as a result. And the 3-1 pitch, swing, and he bounced a foul straight back. Had a good rip. A full count. Last year with Bridgeport, one of Simmons' finest. He hit almost 300, had 20 home runs, led the league in runs scored as their leadoff man. Here's the stretch, a full count. And Anderson with the pitch. It hit him. Nailed him with a fastball right in his front side, and that will load the bases. As Simmons marches to first, they are loaded for Eric Patterson. They did have some bullpen activity. Ricky Van Asselberg making his way to the mound. Anderson just threw his 88th pitch. And he'll make the move to the bullpen. They'll yank him right here. Now for the second time in as many starts against York, Anderson does not give up a whole lot despite having a lot of base runners. And for the second time, he will leave with the bases loaded. Last time in Bridgeport, they could not cash in when the bullpen took over. And they will hope for different results here in the 6th inning today. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. The right-hander Scott Schumann who comes on in relief. Schumann in his 20th game, no record, a 3.18 ERA. 17 innings, just 12 hits. Opponents have hit 200 against him. One thing Anderson did today that he didn't do in the first start against York was command his stuff better. He only walked 2. Of his 88 pitches, 54 were strikes, only 34 balls. Goes 5 1/3, giving up 9 hits, 2 runs thus far. Walked 2, struck out 2. While Schumann gets ready on our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, earlier today, Lancaster defeated Camden 7-2 at Clipper Magazine Stadium. They've won the first 3 of that series. Long Island beat Southern Maryland 16-14 at Bethpage Ballpark. Teams combining for 30 runs and 36 hits. Combined 5 home runs in the game, 4 by Long Island, who scored 9 in the 4th inning to erase a 6-1 deficit. Southern Maryland scored 4 in the 5th, tying it at 10, but Long Island scored 4 in the bottom of the 5th, taking a 14-10 lead. Southern Maryland tied it at 14 in the 7th, but the Ducks with 2 late runs for the 16-14 win. And Somerset and Sugar Land tied at 2 in the 2nd inning in Texas. That's your York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Here's Eric Patterson with the bases loaded and 1 out, down a run here in the 6th. Schumann's first pitch is up high. Revs have faced him 3 times. They've totaled just 1 hit in 3 innings against the righty. He's struck out 6 York batters. The 1-0 and a swing and a foul out of play, third base side. Looks like he's got a nice, easy delivery and gets it up there pretty well. 6'3", 220. Big righty from Georgia. And that's high. Rodriguez, a late reach and a squeeze of it. 2-1. Schumann had been in the Rays system initially. Was at Double-A with Tampa Bay, Double-A with the Giants a couple of years ago. Did not pitch last season. The 2-1 up high. Nowhere to put him. Three and one on Patterson with the bases loaded. Two singles and a hit by pitch ending Anderson's day. The 3-1 swung on, popped up. At third base, Batista going back toward the Bridgeport bullpen. The shortstop Martinez is there, and he's the one to catch it. In foul territory, Patterson pops up on 3-1. And it'll be up to Valdez to do it with 2 outs. Valdez, who's grounded out today and walked twice, will come down to a 2-out at bat here. If they are to cash in here in the 6th. Down 3-2. And Schumann the pitch. Swung on, line foul, off to the right. And right toward the top of the seats on that side. No balls and a strike. Schumann, a former Auburn Tiger, 27-year-old. He deals, and a foul tip straight to the backstop. Valdez, a hack there right on it. Left behind in the count, 0-2. Lights begin to come on here. Some long shadows across the outfield. Infield is completely in shadows now. There's the stretch from Schumann. And the 0-2 swung on. He just got a piece. He bounced a foul, and that may have gotten the plate ump to Jesus as it glanced off behind the home plate circle. He went walking out to deliver the next ball. Luis Rodriguez checking on him right away. Valdez still battling. And Schumann into his stretch. Another 0-2. Swing, and he fouls another one. Reaching for it, bounced it off the plate. And back behind. Valdez again got just a sliver of it, but enough to keep the at-bat going. Schumann again, set, and again deals. And it's in the dirt. Rodriguez blocks it. Paniagua's the runner at third, so if one were to get away, it'd have to be a definite for him to go. Ferdinand at second, Simmons on at first base. With 2 outs in the inning. Here's the stretch. And the 1-2. That's down low, and it does squirt away, and here comes Paniagua to tie it. 3-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. And it was the perfect recipe for Paniagua to score. Rodriguez had gotten part of it. He thought he had blocked it. And he did not break back to recover it. Paniagua took off right away. Rodriguez reached downward on it. It was above the dirt. It'll probably be a pass ball. He boxed it, slowed it down. The fact that he got some glove on it slowed it, and Paniagua scores without a play. It's 2-2, second and third, And the pitch to Valdez. Swung on, bounce, left side. Batista can't reach it. Martinez does, and the throw just in time. And they have to settle for the tie score. Martinez in his first game with the Bluefish this year. He backhands it deep in the hole at short. And his throw just nipped Valdez to end the inning. But the Revs do tie it with a run on 2 hits. 2 men left. And it's a 3-3 game as we head to the 7th.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879 or my mobile is 487-2096 or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Revolution!
Sure, you're counting down to kickoff, but there's plenty of baseball left this summer. The York Revolution have 14 home games in September, and it's easy for you to be there with the September 6-pack. 6 tickets for any remaining game at Santander Stadium this season, 2 parking passes, and a free $10 food card for ballpark treats. A savings of 25% over box office prices, plus $10 in free food, so head to YorkRevolution.com to purchase your September 6-pack. As Yogi Berra would say, baseball season ain't over till it's over.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Top of the 7th, a 3-3 game, and Andres Rodriguez, first pitch swinging, chops a single into center. Jumps on the first offering from Rami and bounces it up the middle. And the leadoff man is on for Bridgeport to begin the 7th. Revs tying it. It'll go down as a pass ball on Luis Rodriguez. That allows Paniagua to come in, an unearned run. Rami had a 1-2-3 6th inning, but we'll deal with a leadoff base runner on the first pitch here in the 7th. Here's Wilson Batista, and he squares to bunt. Rami misses up high on the first offering. Revs will get bullpen activity for the first time today as Tony Pena starts to throw. Pitch, he shows bunt, deadens it. Right on the line, just foul. Fred DeJesus, the plate ump, calling it as Paniagua picked it up right on the line in front of the other batter's box. That thing stuck in the dirt, and it was nearly on the line fair, but evidently just outside of it. Batista 1 for 2. He doubled leading off the 5th and scored a run. Squares again, the 1-1, and he bunts it first base side, and this one's foul as Nash was quickly in and touches it dead in foul territory. 1-2. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Bridgeport. 3-9-1 for York. Rami to stretch, and the 1-2. Breaking ball missed high and away. Now he's got a little bit of a task in front of him here in the 7th. Tie game, the leadoff man on. The 2-2. And that missed up high, a slider, full count. And Batista didn't get the bunt down, but Now works it full on Rami. And he's set. The payoff pitch swung on, served to right field. It's going to drop. As Batista dumps it in shallow right, Rami is steamed as his former teammate singles to right field. And it's first and second with nobody out. Batista just serving it in. Kind of a loop into shallow right. And the Bluefish with their first two on, and Juan Martinez coming up. Fletch will head out and have a visit with Rami. First and second, no outs here in the 7th inning. But while they meet, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Now the Bluefish with 2 men on. Juan Martinez is coming up, and probably be asking him to bunt here, you'd think. Pounds and Nash are in. And he does square. First pitch is up and away. Martinez, a ground out and a pop-up in his first game in the league this season. He'd been in the American Association all year before joining Bridgeport today. Rami the stretch. A 1-0, he squares and deadens it perfectly. Third base side, pounds the pickup, throws. Safe is the call. Warren Nicholson said Patterson came off the bag and the bases are loaded. Both Pounds and Rami went for it, and when Pounds called for it, Rami tried to get out of his way, and Pounds may not have been in perfect throwing rhythm as a result, and the throw just pulled Patterson, who came off, and Martinez may have been safe anyway. And right after the Revs had tied it, that will load the bases with no outs. And it'll be Luis Rodriguez, who had a grand slam earlier in this series. And will be a bunt single for Martinez. Here's Rodriguez, who today is 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the 5th. 3-3, but Bridgeport seriously threatening to go back in front. First offering is upstairs. Actually, this is not Luis Rodriguez. This is their other catcher, Jabduan Morales, who's pinch hitting. So it's Morales who's at the plate, batting at .247, 3 homers. Switch hitter. The 1-0, and it missed outside, a changeup. Rami didn't want him sitting dead red there on 1-0, but now he falls behind him 2-0. Here's the stretch. 2-0 pitch, and that missed high. So now no margin for error, or Bridgeport will be back on top. 3-0 with the bases loaded as he grabs the rosin bag. And back on the rubber. Here's the stretch, the 3-0. And there's a strike. Fastball over the inside corner. 3-1 on Morales. Pinch hitting for the Bluefish here in the 7th. Swung on, line to left, a base hit. Rodriguez in to score, Batista to third, Bridgeport back in front. A pinch hit, RBI single. It's 4-3. And Mace coming to the mound. That'll be all for Rami today. 4 straight singles. to begin the 7th inning. Bridgeport in front 4-3, and he will be lifted with the bases loaded and still no outs. Now, at times today, he was very sharp. Not the Bluefish getting to him on a couple of occasions, including here in the 7th as they retake the lead. Tony Pena will make his way in. Pitching change is brought to you by Maple Donuts. Bases loaded, no outs, 4-3 Bridgeport, and Pena in the game when we come back.
Broadway Transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They towed my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man.
I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway Transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
WellSpan has helped many professional, student, and recreational athletes stay at the top of their game. And they can do the same for you. Our winning team offers everything from concussion management and sports nutrition to physical therapy and more. For more information, call 877-482-5420 or visit wellspan.org/sportsmedicine.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
Tony Pena in the game. Revs will play the infield in as he fires a strike on Ethan Chapman, his first batter face. Bases loaded and no outs, 4-3. Bridgeport back on top. Infield in. Here's the 0-1. And in the dirt, Paniagua makes a run-saving block. Number 9 hitter Chapman has grounded out twice today. And he's trying to blow it open for Bridgeport. Revs trying to cut down a run at the plate. Should there be a ground ball. Rami goes 6+, charged with 10 hits total. Struck out 3, didn't walk any. The 1-1, swing and a miss on Pena's slider. That'll generate a lot of swings and misses. 1-2. Rami, by the way, 101 pitches, 64 for strikes. There's the stretch from Pena. The 1-2, swung on, pop foul, out of play, third base side. Pena 2-2 at 2.84 ERA in 29 outings this season. Inheriting this bases loaded jam. Chapman, the left-handed hitter, awaits. And another 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him, a slider down and in. And there's one away here in the 7th. Big strikeout on Pena's first batter faced. Now we go back to the top of their order. Brian Sabatella is 1 for 3 on the day. Pena's set, first pitch, slider, and it bends across for a strike. So he threw that one to get ahead. He'll throw it in multiple locations and in any count. It's his bread and butter. Hunched over, staring in. He's got his sign. The 0-1. Swung on, grounded back to him. He'll throw home. Paniag with a first double play! 1, 2, 3. Tony Pena works out of it. What a job! Bases loaded with nobody out, and no further runs come across. What an escape! Only the 1 run scores on 4 hits in the inning, 2 men left. 7th inning stretch, it's only a 1-run deficit, 4-3 Bridgeport.
Maple Donuts knows that there comes a point in every kid's summer when the feeling of unfettered freedom begins to fold up faster than a picnic blanket at the first drop of an unexpected summer storm. Charlie and his Maple Donuts team understand that all too soon, lazy mornings on the sofa, splashing in the pool, and weeknight sleepovers will be replaced by bus stops, backpacks, and morning announcements. But Maple Donuts says there's a bright side to the first day of school, kids. Because when you stumble into the kitchen that first morning, chances are you'll be greeted by Mom, enjoying her cup of Maple Donuts' famous coffee and sitting next to a back-to-school tradition, a box of Maple Donuts. And somewhere buried in that box, hand-picked by Mom from Maple Donuts' 58 varieties, you may find that, yes, summer is over, but another school year may not be so bad after all. So for every kid coming to grips with going back to school, we say thanks, Mom. And thank you, Maple Donuts.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Joel's Painting and Contracting is a proud sponsor of the York Revolution. They are also a partner in the maintenance of Santander Stadium. Joel's Painting and Contracting is the highest rated painting company in York and Lancaster County. Now is the time to call for great deals on all of your interior and exterior projects. A community partner with thousands of happy clients. Hit a home run of Joel's Painting and schedule an appointment today or give them a call at 717-471-4273. That's 717-471-4273 for Joel's Painting and Contracting.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Well, potentially and hopefully a big escape and a big momentum swing as Tony Pena works out of that jam with no further runs scoring. A strikeout and a 1-2-3 double play. Right-hander Eric Draxton is the new pitcher for Bridgeport. On a pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Will be their second reliever used. And Andres Perez will lead things off. He homered to get York on the board in the 5th inning. First pitch to begin the 7th is over the outer half, a called strike. Perez 1 for 3, the 2-run homer, his 15th of the year. Leads the league now with 74 runs driven in. Here's the 0-1. And a swing and a line drive, hit well the other way. Dotel back on it, and he's there. Makes the catch as Gray gives it a ride all the way to the front of the warning track in deep right. But Dotel there to squeeze it. 1 up, 1 down. Draxton is 3-1 at 2.44 ERA in 50 games out of the Bridgeport bullpen. 55 1/3 innings, 49 hits. Opponents hitting 240. Here's Brandon Boggs. First pitch is outside. Boggs 3 for 3. Had a painful base hit back in the 5th. Chong had to come out with some eye drops. Something in his eye on his way to first. Pitch to him, it's down and in. And the count 2-0. I don't know if Boggs wears contacts or not, but could be, or it could have just been some dirt in the eye. But they flushed it out. Pitch taking all the way, it's down low. Three balls, no strikes. Draxton deals and Boggs looks it over. It's across. 3-1. Draxton's only walked 15. He's struck out 44. 3-1. Swung on, beaten foul. Over against the padding between the net and the Revs dugout. Draxton's given up 1 run in 5 appearances against York. Just 1 hit. 3-2. And a swing and a pop-up foul. Rather, Morales, the new catcher, will eye it up as it lands back in the stands. Sure did sound like it broke something. Boggs stays alive at 3-2. On Draxton, another full count offering, and he missed inside. Boggs will work out the walk. He backs away, sets down the gear. He'll head to first. Tying run is on. And Brandon Boggs on base all 4 times today. 3 singles and a walk. He is in the top 5 in the league in walks. It is his 57th of the year, 3rd most. We'll bring up Brian Pounds. First pitch, a check swing, and the plate ump to Jesus said he offered on a slider. No balls, 1 strike. Pounds a fly out, a line out, and a ground ball fielder's choice. The stretch from Draxton. The 0-1 swung on, fouled down the right field side. This one carrying all the way into the picnic area, but fading foul. The count now 0-2. Four to 3, Revs trailing. Bottom of the 7th. Last night was their 28th comeback win of the year. Throw to first, and Boggs dives back. On base every one of his 4 trips to the plate today. Oh, 2, and that misses high, a fastball. Draxton the stretch. The 1-2. And a breaking ball, a little bit high. Pounds leaves it go. You've got Boggs and Pounds back to back in the order. Both in the top 5 in the league in on base percentage. Pounds now working the count deeper. And Draxton ready again. The 2-2. And a swing and a foul the other way in right. And out of play. Now they're making him work. Having good at bats. That's the goal every time up there. And one thing that this team has done 1,000,000 times better in the second half is battle and grind out at bats. Another 2-2. Swung on, bounced to second base. Might be 2. Prince the flip. Martinez the turn. It is. 4-6-3 double play. Boggs tried to break it up on the slide, but Martinez got it away. And if the Revs are to come back, they'll have to do it in one of the final 2 innings here this evening. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We'll go to the 8th. Bridgeport still in front, 4-3.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Revolution! Sure, you're counting down to kickoff, but there's plenty of baseball left this summer. The York Revolution have 14 home games in September, and it's easy for you to be there with the September 6-pack. 6 tickets for any remaining game at Santander Stadium this season, 2 parking passes, and a free $10 food card for ballpark treats. A savings of 25% over box office prices, plus $10 in free food, so head to YorkRevolution.com to purchase your September 6-pack. As Yogi Berra would say, baseball season ain't over till it's over.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Top of the 8th, 4-3. Bridgeport still on top. Luis Perdomo will come on for the Revs. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. And Bridgeport with the heart of their order due up. Perdomo looking to keep it a 1-run game. Ball loose from Bridgeport's bullpen in the left field corner that Ferdinand retrieves. So now we're set as Josh Prince digs in. 0 for 3, did score in the 4th. First pitch of the inning, a slider that misses up. Perdomo is another one who is a former Bluefish. And in fact, this season, he and Simmons and Scarpetta, as Prince swings and misses on a fastball. And it's a 1-1 count. Perdomo began this year with Bridgeport. He's pitched pretty well for York. 1-1 at 2.57 ERA, 19 games. He deals, and it's down in the dirt and skips away. 2 balls and a strike. Wellington Dotel is on deck. And C.J. Rutherford do third this inning. The 2-1 and a foul back against the screen. To twilight time of the evening here. Perdomo sets and fires, and a ground ball foul past John Harris, their third base coach and hitting coach. 2-2 it remains. Couple former big leaguers squaring off here. Prince was with the Brewers. Perdomo fires, and a little flare foul down the first base side. Prince 8 games with Milwaukee in 2013. Perdomo has pitched for the Padres and Twins at the big league level. He fires, and a swing and a foul straight back again. Another battle from Prince, who had won a couple of innings back. And this at bat now 7 pitches long and still going. It's his third 2-strike foul. Perdomo 1 game with San Diego in 2010, 15 more with the Twins 2 years later. Deals and missed in the dirt, 3-2. trying to keep Prince off base to begin the inning. He's got good speed, a lot of steals, 21 of them. Bridgeport already up 1 run. Plate ump DeJesus rushes off the plate. I wonder if that got a piece of Paniagua. Mace came part way to the plate. Chong was a couple of steps behind him, but Sal then said he was okay. Now full count it remains. Perdomo fires and a check swing on a ball low. They appeal to first, and Prince held up. That's a big appeal and a big leadoff walk to begin the 8th. With Bridgeport already up 1 run. And Prince on base. He's 21 for 22 in stolen base attempts. We'll bring up Wellington Dotel, who's today 1 for 3, a double and a run. First pitch, he swings and fouls it straight back, trying to ambush one. Perdomo. The 0-1, Prince is running. It's down low. Paniagua the throw, right on the money, but just a hair late. And Prince steals his 22nd. That was right on target, on the bag, but Prince is in, and the insurance run at second with no outs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dotel, former Mariners prospect. Pitch from Perdomo is fouled off over the first base side. And the count 1-2. Don't forget tomorrow a 5 o'clock start as well for Labor Day. There's the 1-2 fastball missed in tight. Just saw our attendance number today, 5,227. Outstanding Sunday crowd. Revs hoping to treat them to some late inning heroics. 2-2, and it's tap foul down to John Harris, the third base coach. Dotel's first season in the Atlantic League and running away with the batting crown. The pitch, that's down low, a full count. A couple of years ago, he had been in the American Association for a second season. There's the stretch. 3-2. And he swings, chops a foul on 1 hop to Rutherford, the on-deck hitter. Revs will now get Josh Judy up in the bullpen. Perdomo is already at 16 pitches, still looking for his first out. Take a moment and tie his shoe. Just to slow things down and clear his mind, perhaps. Or maybe his shoelace actually did need tied. It's another full count offering, and it's chopped toward third. Pounds has it on 1 uphill plant. Throw, got him. Dotel brings plenty of speed to the table, and Nash may have just gotten stepped on at first base. He drops to his knees. They do record the out. On 1 hop to Pounds, who backhanded right behind the bag. And a strong throw to first. Got Dotel, who was striding for that finish line. Mason Chong checking on Nash. And Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of watching the replay is that he got cleated on his heel a little bit. I think it's a little tough to tell. He is going to stay in the game. I mean, the only other thing would be that he simply felt a little strain as he stretched for it. But he's checking his right heel like he got stepped on slightly. Well, the ground out keeps Prince at second. Here's Rutherford. He swings, pops the first one up. Paniagua right behind the plate, and he's got it. Angling over toward Rodriguez on deck, who will come up next. Rutherford, the cleanup man, out on one pitch. On a pop-up straight up behind home plate. 2 down here in the top of the 8th. And here is Andres Rodriguez. Today 2 for 3. 2 singles and a run scored. 4-3, Bridgeport the lead. Top of the 8th inning. Perdomo fires. Fastball right there for a strike. 92 on the gun. Perdomo set. And the 0-1, that's inside, made Rodriguez move back. Rodriguez, 375 the last 10. And 2 more hits today. Had a scary shot back up the middle early in the game that just missed Rami. Perdomo ready. And the 1-1 swung on, little nubber. Perdomo toward first. He'll glove it. He was able to reach it. He'll take it right to the bag himself. 1 unassisted. And the leadoff walk and stolen base is stranded at second. Perdomo keeps it a 1-run game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 4-3 Bridgeport.
Whether it's for sport, protection, or recreation, Spar Firearms is the best place to go for all of your firearm needs. With a large selection of new and used firearms, Spar carries an array of brands, as well as ammo and other accessories. Whether you're an avid collector, sharpshooting expert, hunter, or weekend enthusiast, Spar Firearms provides everything you need no matter your experience. For the best in convenience, selection, and customer service, visit Spar Firearms, 6108 Carlisle Pike in Mechanicsburg, and online at sparfirearms.com.
Turn this on. The Rich Eisen Show.
He is unbelievable.
Rich Eisen.
Let's go to the phone lines. They are lit. Catherine in South Carolina, can I help you?
Yes, I am having emotional distress.
Don't.
I'm going to sue the Jones family.
Don't.
This is crazy. It's the most stupid, idiotic thing. The Jones are screwing this up. And I am sick. I've left work. I'm nauseous. He's strung us out on DeMarco.
Well, what about the idea that anybody could run behind that offensive line? Catherine, you don't buy that one?
DeMarco is family. He and Tony and Jason do everything together. He's family. I just started to be a Cowboys fan again, and happiness has just plunged to despair. What the Jones has done to my emotional state, they should be sued.
Don't go litigious on me here, okay?
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 8th, still a 1-run game. The Revs bullpen has held the fort. And Perdomo in the top half this inning. Right-hander Stephen Ames, the new pitcher for Bridgeport. The Revs took deep with Ferdinand doing the job on Friday night, tying that game. And Talvin Nash will be the first to face him here. First pitch is over for a strike. And the count 0-1. Nash 0 for 3 and good to go after apparently being stepped on at first as he takes a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Nash, Paniagua, and then Ferdinand again for another matchup with Ames. The 1-1. Fastball down and away. Close. Good eye from Nash. Bluefish with their third reliever in here tonight. Ames some big league time with the Angels a couple of years ago. Pitch to Nash, swing and a miss. He was swinging to tie it. And the count 2-2. Overall for Ames, 1-2, a 3.75 ERA. He deals and Nash fouls it off over the right side. Been a game of catch-up for the Revs all day. They tied it in the 6th on a pass ball, but Bridgeport back in front with a run in the 7th. 4-3. Another 2-2. And in the dirt, that got a piece of the catcher Morales and deflected away. So Nash works at full, grinding out and at bat. And he's a power guy, but he can. He's not up there just swinging away at everything. And he works a deep count again. Paniagua, another hero from the other night, waits next. 3-2, and a swing and a line drive, left center field. It is gone! Talvin Nash ties the game! A home run for the 3rd consecutive night for Talvin Nash. And this game tied 4-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. A low liner that just carries out of here. And the Revs have done it again. Talvin Nash, the game-tying shot. They do it again in the 8th inning. They do it again to Ames. And Nash with a home run for the 3rd straight game. Here's Paniagua, who was trying to do the same and comes up empty on a big curveball. But more late inning splash. Here's a ball in the dirt, 1-1. And this time it's Talvin's smash. His 7th of the year, it will be his 8th. This one a liner to the gap, and it stayed up and cleared. Here's a fastball down and away, 2-1. The Revs with their 2nd home run today, 95th of the season. Here's the 2-1, and a foul tip back to the net. Now 2-2. Revs in this series with 12 of the, actually 13 of the 16 runs they've scored have been on homers. The pitch and a swing and a bouncing ball to short. Martinez with it. Throw is a little low, but it stays above the dirt. Rodriguez able to handle it. And there's one down. Paniagua now 2 for 4 on the day. And here's Nick Ferdinand, who got Ames the other night. Revs have made the late game dramatics routine here of late. First pitch to Ferdinand is over for a strike. He's 1 for 3 in this one. Here's the 0-1, And that just missed away. In this series, Friday night tied it in the 8th on a home run, won it in the 9th on a home run. Last night took the lead, basically winning it in the 8th on a homer. It's a fastball down and away, 2-1. And today, tying it in the 8th on a homer. So all 3 games this weekend, they've either tied it or taken the lead on an 8th inning long ball. The wind, the 2-1. Fastball just outside. Ferdinand works it to 3-1, and I believe Ames had something to say, and Fred DeJesus, I think, stepped toward him and shouted right back. And then the catcher with a couple of words as well. The 3-1 swung on, grounded toward the middle and through into left center. Go-ahead runs on base. Martinez at short, couple of steps to his left, but couldn't get to it. They were playing him to pull, and Ferdinand finds the opening. And now Ricky Van Asselberg coming out, briefly getting into Jesus' ear regarding that exchange between his pitcher and the plate ump. Now Ferdinand, a one-out base runner, his second hit of the game. And James Simmons coming up. Van Asselberg will now head all the way to the mound and have a word with Ames here. Maybe just looking to calm him down. Don't see anybody up in their bullpen. And that's the end of that visit. By the way, Ames has now given up 3 home runs all season. 2 of those have been in this series. Now here's Simmons, who's 1 for 2, an infield hit and a hit by pitch. He's been on base twice. First offering, Ferdinand's running, and it's driven to right center field, in the gap, and down for a hit. Ferdinand being set, he's gonna score. Simmons stops, it'll be a double, and the Revs take the lead, 5-4, here in the bottom of the 8th. The 8th inning is their time of night here this weekend. And tonight they tie it and go in front in the 8th. And looking for another last at-bat win. 5-4 is the lead. And Mike DeMark will begin to throw. James Simmons against his former team drives in the go-ahead run. Here's Eric Patterson. And opposite field gapper. Pitch to Patterson is fouled away, left field side. And it's 0-1. Simmons jumping on it and drilling it the other way into right center. And Ferdinand, who was running on the pitch, never had to slow down. 5-4 York with 2 here in the 8th. And time asked for as Patterson takes a step out. He is 1 for 4 today. Infield hit in the 3rd. Crowd of over 5,200 looking for another comeback. Pitch, it's in the dirt. And it's a ball and a strike. As Simmons is 12th run driven in his last 16 games. The 1-1 and a swing and a pop foul out of play left side. 1-2 on Patterson, who offensively was the hero in last night's game. All of the clutch late game hits this team has had, it seems like it's always somebody different. There's a ball down low as Morales traps it between the legs. 2-2. Just this weekend alone, you've had Ferdinand and Paniagua, Patterson, Nash and Simmons. And with all of the last at-bat wins, walk-off wins, seems like it's always a different guy. On the stretch, the 2-2, and that's down low. Tried to get him to lunge at a changeup there. Patterson wouldn't. Full count with Valdez on deck. The Bluefish with bullpen activity. Wander Perez is up throwing, lefty that they just added. Ames steps off. Another deep count, another good at bat, and Patterson will ask for time and take a stroll out of the box. Ames and Morales need some time to figure out what they want here. And now ready, the 3-2. Swung on and lined down the left field line, and that's fair! Down to the corner, Simmons around to score. And Patterson into second with an RBI double. They've added the insurance to it. And it's 6-4 York here in the 8th. Eric Patterson, the RBI double the other way. And that'll be it for Ames, as the Revs have scored 3 against him here in the 8th inning tonight. 6-4 the lead, another tremendous at bat, and Patterson caps it with the line double the other way. 49th ribby of the year. And in comes the lefty Perez on a pitching change here in the 8th. It's brought to you by Maple Donuts. The Revs, another late game rally, and this one a big one. 6-4 they lead and not done hitting. Perez is in when we come back.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
It's going to be another epic year in high school football, and Sports Radio 1350 is ready for kickoff. Tune in every Friday night this fall for the high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Plus, go to WOIK1350.com for a full breakdown of the teams and the players of the 2015 York Adams League. The high school football game of the week, presented by WellSpan Sports Medicine. Catch the action every Friday night on Sports Radio 1350, online at WOIK1350.com, or download the WOIK mobile app.
Hi, this is Wayne McCullough. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. for Central PA Game Day, right here on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Join us as we celebrate the best of local sports with your teams and your student athletes, interviews with players and coaches, and the high school scoreboard show every Saturday morning. Central PA Game Day, Saturdays at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Bottom of the 8th, Revs have stormed in front, rallying for 3. They lead at 6-4. Lefty Wander Perez, the new pitcher for Bridgeport. First time we'll see him. appearing in his third game, 2 scoreless innings thus far. Watching him in warm-ups, he slings it from a low angle. 6'3" lefty. And Valdez will stand in to greet him. 0 for 2, does have 2 walks and a run scored. And the first pitch, Patterson broke for third. It's high and the throw goes into left. Right down the line, Patterson into score, and it's 7-4. Just how they drew it up. Patterson's 20th steal of the year. He broke on the first pitch. And he'd have been in. Morales' throw, though, went way high. Batista tried to leap to save it, could not. And into left field it went. It's a steal and a throwing error. And a 7-4 lead. Bases empty. 1-0 to Valdez. Is over for a strike. A 4-run bottom of the 8th. And the Revs not only have come back to take the lead, they've padded it. Here's the 1-1. And that breaks down and in, a slider. DeMarc in the 9th inning will face 6, 7, and 8. Batista, Martinez, Morales. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, hit in the air in right. Toward the line goes Dotel. He is there and gloves it. And that's out number 2. The Revs can finish it off. It'll be... And they were down 3-0 at one point. They've scored 7 of the 8 since. If they can finish it off, it'll be their 29th comeback win of the year, their 3rd straight. And they would have 29 comeback wins compared to 28 losses in which the opponent has come back. So above 500 in that department. Pretty good considering where they've come from. Here's Andres Perez who takes a strike. Really good when you consider where they've come from. Perez set. The 0-1 to our Perez. He swings and misses on a breaking ball. 0-2. A win tonight. It would be the 5th of the year for the Revs when trailing heading to the 8th. Here's the stretch. The 0-2 to Dre, and he swings, pops a foul out of play, right side. He was the one that started the Revs scoring on a 2-run homer to left center in the 5th. His 15th of the year, 1 for 4 on the night, adding to his league-leading RBI total, now at 74. Now Wander Perez is ready. 0-2 again, and a breaking ball chopped to short. Martinez steps up, he gloves it, fires just in time. And that'll end the inning. But the Revs with a huge 8th inning take the lead and then some, scoring 4 times, 4 hits, 1 error, nobody left. We go to the 9th. Mike DeMarc comes in. It's the Revs 7 and the Bluefish 4.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis...
Ace.
Raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around, look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will endure opponent after opponent, match after match. Shoes that move when and how you move and stop at your command. Shoes that fit and feel good so your feet are ready and able to take that next set. Flying Feet's team includes ASICS, New Balance, Wilson, and K-Swiss in widths that fit. And the Flying Feet staff is always on the sidelines ready to help with your selection. Tennis, it's a whole new game. Be prepared to play it well. Flying Feet. Flying Feet Sports Shoes, just off exit 18 of I-83, right behind Domino's in York.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, President of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879 or my mobile is 487-2096 or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Heading to the ninth, it's 7 for York. They have really turned this game around as Mike DeMark comes on. First pitch to Wilson Batista is high, with Batista faking a bunt. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Revs looking for a 3-game winning streak to begin this series. The 1-0, and that's down and in. All three would come with late heroics, and in comeback fashion for that matter. DeMark the high set, the 2-0, and he fires his first strike. The 8th inning, critical in all three, and very beneficial for the Revs. The 2-1, and it's a little low. They have their first lead all day. And in control as we begin the ninth. DeMark trying to avoid the leadoff pass. He's ready. The 3-1 and a little high. It will be a leadoff walk to begin the ninth. Juan Martinez to the plate next. DeMark is looking for his second save. 1 win, no losses, 20 games, a 0.93 ERA. Here's Martinez. First pitch is over for a called strike. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a bunt hit. Just about completely nightfall here in York. The 0-1 swung on, lined and caught at second. Patterson the flip. And Nash has to sidestep. Batista sliding back. The agile Telvin Nash, who's helped up by Batista. Really needs some upper body strength to lift Telvin. 1 down here in the ninth. Our official score, Brian, gives that a 9.5 on the judging. That was a flare on the right side, Patterson running it down, and then a side-handed flip in desperation, trying to get Batista. Nash dove around him. Here's Jabdawan Morales, who takes the first pitch strike. Morales a pinch hit, go-ahead RBI single in the 7th, and then staying in to catch. And the Revs would erase that lead in the 8th. Next one is down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. A win would put the Revs at 31 and 24 in the second half. Lancaster did win earlier again. 1-1. And a foul back off the net. So they'd still be 4.5 behind, but playing very well with 2 weeks to go. Both teams will be facing opponents that they have struggled some against this season, York and Lancaster, so nothing decided yet. The 1-2, and a miss down low. Win would put them 7 games over 500, matching their best of the second half. Here's the 2-2. Slider ran hard in, a full count. And if Morales reaches, the tying run will bat. Ethan Chapman is on deck. And then they would go to the top of the order. DeMarc ready. And the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew him away. Fastball got him swinging. And an out away from wrapping it up. 2 down here in the top of the 9th. Raymond lets him know on the PA. And here's Ethan Chapman, who's 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a K. First pitch, swing and a miss. As he flails through it, no balls, 1 strike. DeMarc trying to lock it down here in the 9th. The 0-1 nearly hit him. Again, the tying run on deck. That's Brian Sabatella at the moment. A 1-1 slider broke down low. Seven for the lead here in the top of the 9th. Stretch. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. On a high, hard one. And now a strike away from finishing it. Over 5,200 on hand today. Many of them rise to their feet. DeMarc's got his sign. He stretches. The 2-2 missed down and in. It'll be a full count. Batista will be on the move. And the tying run again, waiting on deck. Cheering on DeMarc, looking for the final out. He's set. The payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up. Nash toward the dugout. Paniagua over as well, and it lands a row in. Right behind the dugout. And the at-bat will continue.
Good effort, catcher.
Now everybody will head back to their proper post. Full count it remains. DeMarc ready. Another payoff pitch. Oh, where was that? Looked like it was right there, and Chapman walks, bringing the tying run to the plate. Second walk of the inning from DeMarc. And now Brian Sabatella will bat, representing the tying run. That thing looked like it was right down the middle. Watch our replay. Now maybe just a little low. Close. So here's Sabatella. He's got 1 home run for the year, if you're thinking that. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Pena got him to hit into the 1-2-3 double play in the 7th in a huge spot. Kept it a 1-run game at the time First pitch here, fastball, it's a strike. And DeMarc starts off ahead of him. Revs once trailed by 3 in this game. They lead by 3 now after the 8th inning comeback. The 0-1 swung on, fouled off, up over the roof on the first base side. And once again, a strike away. This will be their second 3-run comeback of this series, in fact. Season's biggest is 4. The stretch, the 0-2, missed up high. Trying to get Sabatello to extend the zone. Crowd's certainly into it. They've been great tonight. One of our biggest Sunday crowds of the year. DeMarc ready again. And the 1-2 just off the plate away. He was about to march off into celebration. Didn't get it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Final one's always the toughest. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball inside. So now it'll go full. This will be his 26th pitch of the inning coming up. Josh Prince awaits on deck. Runners will have the luxury of the head start. He's ready. And the payoff pitch swung on and flared foul into the stands down the first base side. Sabatello fights it off. DeMarc trying to seal the deal after the 8th inning comeback. He stares in, he's ready. Another payoff pitch. Swung on, popped him up. Valdez at short is under it. He waits, he squeezes. Game over. And the Revs with another comeback win in the late innings. 7-4 is the final tonight as they take the first 3 from the Bluefish. Matching a season high, 7 games over 500. Another late comeback and more late inning heroics. As the Revs pick up their 22nd last at-bat victory of the season. DeMarc nails it down with a scoreless 9th. And again, the bullpen outstanding. Pena got out of that mess in the 7th. Perdomo kept it a 1-run game, getting out of things in the 8th inning. And DeMarc finishes it off after the big 8th inning rally as the Revs win by a final score of 7-4. They've taken the first 3 of this series, all in late comebacks or tie-breaking situations, and will go for the 4-game sweep tomorrow. Yes, Lancaster won earlier, but the Revs continue to do their part to try to stay in this race, and tomorrow will go for the 4-game sweep. Another thriller tonight in front of one of our biggest Sunday crowds of the year. More than 5,200 here who love the comeback as the Revs win it by a final score of 7-4. Stay tuned. Post-game show follows next.